have your call from a jam-packed Scotiabank Saturday. We will see you after when you enjoy Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey.
Imagine an ESPN Sportsbook app that linked to the ESPN app so you could track bets while you check stats. Dude, it's one of my best ideas. Sign up today and receive $100 in bonus bets when you make your first 10.
What's going on, everybody? John here with you. It is a Wednesday night, March 12th, 2025. This is going to be a giant game. This is going to be the biggest one on the schedule on a light night because it's two teams in the Western Conference, especially on the side, looking for the wild card spot. The FC2, as the season goes along, might be the only spot available for these two. So head coach by Rick Tocchet, it's the Vancouver Canucks, just a point outside of the spot at 29, 24, and 11, fifth in the Pacific. It's Filip, Drew Conor, Jonathan Leaker-Maki, Marcus Petersson, Tyler Myers. Again, Quinn Hughes is going to play tonight, so that probably puts him on the side with Filip Hronek as usually is. Elias Petersson, the center with Dakota Joshua, Conor, Garland. Pius, Suter, Jake DeBrusk, Kiefer, Sherwood, Teddy Bluger, Niels Höglander, Derek Forbert, Victor Mancini, usually on the back end, so one of them is going to be leaving out. Niels Zaman might jump in as well. Kevin Lincoln will get the start off the back-to-back because Arthur Shilov's numbers are just not very good. For the Calgary Flames, they have a game in hand. They are a point ahead in WC2. They are 30, 23, and 10, head coached by Ryan Huska. That's Nazem Kadri, Jonathan Huberdeau, Matthew Coronado, Joel Hanley, Mackenzie Weegar, Michael Backlund, Joel Farabee, Marty Parspissel, Kevin Ball, Rasmus Anderson, Morgan Frost, Ryan Lumber, Blake Coleman, Kevin Rooney. Anthony Manta is still injured on that side, but you got Connor Zeri and Adam Klapka, with Jake Bean and Braden Paul on the back end. Dustin Wolf will be getting the start again. He's coming off of the 1-0 shutout courtesy against of the Montreal Canadiens on Saturday. Again, Calgary's been off since then. Alec, I know you had that trip across from Mexico. You've been starting to get your feet wet across now on the hockey play-by-play. I hope you had a good long break. I don't know if Cooper Hopkins is joining in on this one. If he is, it might be a three-cast, but I'm looking forward to this one.
Thanks for having me back here, Johnny. Good to have you back here as well. Missed you, man. It's been a while since we last did a game together. This game, of course, you can turn the excitement up to 10. We have the wild card battles in pursuit between Calgary, Vancouver on the outside looking at St. Louis, and Utah, potentially also involved in the second wild card battle. That's not the only wild card battle you have. You have a 17th battle for the two Eastern Conference wild card spots between Ottawa, Columbus, Montreal, Rangers, Bruins, Red Wings, and Islanders. I don't know if the Islanders are going to get there, but this is the highlight right now. WC2 in the West. Of course, these two. How else would it be settled between a rivalry match between two Pacific Northwest teams?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to get to. I had a lot of notes prepped in as far as the intermission, so I might try to lead the intermission and get your thoughts. You had a 5-hour side of it for the trade deadline. You were an absolute trooper. I wish I could have joined in on that one. So I'll recap the biggest hits. We'll talk about the Canes. We'll talk about some other teams. We'll talk about what's going on across the league, the Avs as well, and some rumblings if you haven't heard some of those quotes. So there'll be a lot to get to in both intermissions. I'll have enough packed for that. So Alec and I should have a good time. If Cooper Hopkins does join in, he's definitely going to be joining in. We'll probably all be mixing in on the play-by-play side of it. I'm really excited to see what happens. Also, as we get into this, I have time before we get into the anthems. I just want to make this historical context note from Flames beat writer Darren Haynes. If you don't follow him, I suggest that you do, alongside for everybody. But Dustin Wolf this year is 22, 12, and 4. 252 goals against, 915 save percentage, and 3 shutouts. That's terrific. The Flames are dead last in goal scoring, 32 out of 32. So keeping track recently from 2016 to current, here's where the lowest scoring teams finished in the standings. 2016-17, Colorado was 30th. Again, that's last because Vegas didn't have their inaugural season to 2017-18. In the mix of let's continue, drafted 4th Cale Makar. Detroit finished 31st in 2019-20. Again, just outside of Seattle's inaugural season. From 2019-20 when they drafted Lucas Raymond. Arizona, 21-22, Logan Cooley 3rd. Chicago, the last 2 seasons, 30th and 31st. So second and third worst when they drafted Connor Bedard and Artem Levchinov. But here is the big difference. The Flames are 14th out of 32 teams being last in goal scoring. That's why Dustin Wolf needs to be a Calder lock.
It's impressive how one goaltender can make a difference about what a team can do from being a bottom seller team to being a playoff contender when you have them scoring at dead last in the entire NHL. 164 goals to this point, yet they have only allowed 182 goals against it throughout the course of the season. The big reason being Dustin Wolf and that defensive structure. Had it not been for the likes of, say, Michael Celebrini or Matvei Michkov, you'll be hearing Wolf's name a lot more. And if the Flames do make the playoffs, go ahead and put Dustin Wolf's name on the Calder trophy right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Again, I'm trying to keep all the bias aside, considering how many Calgary Flames games covered over the years, but it really is that big of a difference. And again, I will say this, for those that are outside of Calgary saying that they wish they didn't have a goaltender like this because it's kind of slowing down the rebuild. No, Craig Conroy has already secured a lot of the stockpile on the chips. I thought the trade in for Farabee and Frost was excellent. He knows exactly what he's doing. The Calgary Flames are in a great spot. Keep in mind, in the mix of when they had Brad Treliving, you still have Nazem Kadri, Jonathan Huberdeau, and Mackenzie Weegar. When you have those signings like that, Alec, you're expected to be competitive.
Yeah, you have Huberdeau, Kadri, all those big names that you added through free agency. You want to compete for a spot. The big question is about how goal scoring is going to step up for Calgary, and they need it here because there have been a lot of low-scoring games. And so far, as Sportsnet has previewed, Dustin Wolf has 3 shutouts to his resume and a .915 save percentage to add on to the save percentage and GAA. Those shutouts are huge, especially when you add on to the additions of Joe Farabee and Morgan Frost. You have to make those additions so that you can keep on building to a more competitive team. Not to mention the young players you have coming up in the future, such as Coronado, Hospital, Zeri, and the future Zane Parekh to the defensive pipeline.
Yeah, Zane Parex's already killing everything inside the OHL. So, Alec, I'm going to get things started here, and then I'm going to leave us across for you in the second period. We'll take this one. Strap in, everybody. This should be a good one. We'll see what happens here for this WC2. Again, if Calgary ends up getting a point tonight and Vancouver wins in overtime, Calgary's still going to have the edge of the side because of the season series and the games in hand and things like that. But this is the last meeting of the season between the two. Again, this is meeting number 4. Vancouver trying to get a second win to split this season series. As we will get a look, I know Tyler Myers getting the package, but Quinn Hughes will be on the ice tonight.
A huge news for Vancouver. They get their offensive heartbeat back and their defensive heartbeat back.
So Hanley throws this one right at the net, and this will go back and across the end boards here. Hanley now for Marty Pospisil will shove this one in the corner here for EP, the defenseman. There's a rolling puck the other way. Now Montreal gave it to Vancouver last night pretty good. It was an attempted comeback, couple goals late before the empty netter. Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki experience in there yesterday. So now Vancouver really needs to play this as the most important game of the year. You could say the same thing with the Flames, as Nazem Kadri now enters toward the left side of the ice. He's still circling in behind the net now, tied up and alongside with Huberdeau, but it's Kadri. He emerges after the loop near the right side. Dot pass for ball. He could have walked in and shot. He should have shot it earlier, as Lankinen was able to close off that left side of the post. And here's a long foot now for Vancouver, as this will get settled back down the ice. And the icing gets waved off. Ball and they'll get an opportunity to pick it up. 18:45 left to go in this first frame. John here with you alongside Alec Nava and Ian Genji, as this is flipped in by Blake Coleman toward the right side. Dot might go back one off the spin. As this is be picked up here, Quinn Hughes lost it for a moment. You know he's playing injured. He wanted to be in the Four Nations face-off. He just couldn't do it. This one bounces off the end boards here for the Dearborn, Michigan native, and Dakota Joshua, and chipped in away off the glass. As Brock Boeser, he was not traded at the deadline. They wanted a first-round pick. He's just a rental for the rest of the year now as Flames go off sides.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange decision that Brock Boeser was not dealt at the deadline. The common consensus was that he was going to be traded for a package that included a first-round pick. I also was surprised that Ricard Raquel didn't get traded at the deadline because I believe that there was a haul to be had in terms of the trade return between him or Boeser for the two rebuilding / retooling teams.
Yeah, absolutely, Alec. And again, we're going to be talking a lot more about that in the first, a little bit in the second. There's a lot to do here today. Got a jam-packed show. Should be a good one. Pius Suter send this one to the net. It goes off the stick shaft as Dustin Wolf and Drew O'Connor near the right side boards, right in the catching glove of Dustin Wolf. He'll make the save.
The easiest day for Dustin Wolf. As for Vancouver, they've been through a lot of turmoil on the forward side. Both teams have been ailing scoring-wise, especially among the forward side. 174 goals for Vancouver, 164 for Calgary. Vancouver's just one goal ahead of San Jose among the, I believe, the bottom 5, maybe 10 side of goals for category. Still, if you count out for the points leader among forwards of Vancouver, it's still, to this very day, JT Miller, and he's a Ranger.
That says a lot, Alec, because that's been weeks, and it just seems woeful considering the amount of talent that they do still have. As Jonathan Huberdeau now in toward the left side red line, he sends the pass across, it bounces off the skate of Mackenzie Weegar, and we'll see if this ends up going the other way. Joel Hamlin send this back around the backboards now for Huberdeau. We'll stop it. The left side blue line. Good pass across the middle here. The Flames, Matthew Coronado off the stop. Kadri, he fires away wide. Going to bounce off a stick. Ryan Lomberg now. Fresh in off the change. Here's a bundle of energy as Ryan Lomberg sends this one back to the point. This one deflect up off the zebra. Lomberg again finishes check. Calgary gets his steal. And delayed offside. They're going to have to check back up and allow the Canucks to get possession here with Mancini. Mancini now make the crisscross pass to Nils Amon. Amon now will throw this one in the end boards. Kevin Rooney will circle around the embankment. Teddy Bluger now with Amon trying to get the steal. Niels off the half spin. Send this one back to D. Shots are just one aside. Here's Filip Hronek into the traffic. It's deflected. It's loose in the middle of the slot. And Conor Zary on the fourth line side again. He's just trying to get his feet back underneath him. He's got some tremendous talent. We saw him score a very sick goal in overtime at the very beginning of the year for the Flames. And he's one of the big pieces going forward for Craig Connor's squad. As this is now intercepted across the flaming sea, Teddy Bluger finds a way to get it in. Now ball, send this one across. Picked up now for Blake Coleman. Coleman now tries the dipsy doodle, will half spin, and this one is easily intercepted across the slot by the Canucks. Here's a touch pass. Here's opportunity for Niels Höglander. It was a good stick save for Dustin Wolf right in the middle of the circles. As this goes down near the right side, not a little inside-out positioning. And a rolling vulcanized rubber bounced up near the player's bench. And Petersson almost falls into the bench, but he saves himself. As this goes to the left side of the red line, he does a half tumble. It's Braden Paul. Now will slow up in his own end. Ryan Huska's squad should be able to take a change here as the defense look for the breakout right to left. Calgary and the home Reds. Marty Pospisil now on his backhand sent it toward the net for Sharon Govich. And that one just got knocked away. It's Pahal is the last man back. I'll flip this one in across the red line. And Kevin Lincoln, who's playing in back-to-back starts. You don't see that much more in the NHL, but he's got to do that because Shelop's numbers and they get a stoppage or profile, but they've been terrible. As this is now right in across the red line. We'll flip back down the ice by Mackenzie Weegar. Derek Forbert played the entry off the backhand. Hanley now tried to press in Vancouver with Filip try to get this one the other way. It's bounced in off of Lincoln and the defense. And Vancouver now try to go left to right in the road whites in the mix of the teal and the blue pants. There's Mancini. We'll send this one the other way. Now and across for Drew O'Connor. Stopping on the right side. There goes a good hit for Zary, but he's going to lose the puck. This will allow the Canucks to walk right in. Cross pass, a diving play. Knocked it away, so Dustin Wolf didn't have to make a save. Jonathan Huberdeau now will take this one all the way to Mackenzie Weegar. Here's Nazem Kadri off a 1-on-2. We'll spin back. He's in the high slot now off the lead. It's ball. He can walk in and shoot. It's sent toward the net. Rebound, Lincoln it down. Couple of stick lifts. Kadri can't find it. And now Vancouver will go ahead and survive the danger for a moment. Calgary was that close. Hair's breadth away from scoring the first. It's only 2 shots apiece, but the traffic has been there. As this is now flipped in away from Liker Maki and put it around the end boards for Rasmus Anderson. He's a -22 for the Flames. He's much, much better than that, though. As this is sent back and around the end boards for Lomberg. Lomberg takes a hit to make the play. Centered it. This bounces off of the stick of one of the Flames and flipped back down the ice. This is bounced hand-eye out of the air. And now the Canucks try to gain the left side red line. Attempt to do it again. And this will be sent back around the end boards here. Jake Bean will get a chance to start this one again. 13:45. We had some unbroken action in the first. It got knocked away from Blake Coleman. And now the Flames do have reinforcements back. Mackenzie Weegar, nice play in his own end. Just get that out of there unhinged. flip back down for Mancini. They're taking a shot away from the Flames right now. It's 2-1. They'll send this one in the end boards. Kevin Lincoln will stop late for Forbert. Mancini off the reverse between his legs. Hanley gets the steal. Sends it toward the net. Lincoln went the wrong way. This is the left side red line now. Inside out move by Farabee. Blake Coleman slowly puts it around the end boards. Joel Farabee now from Coleman tries to get it, but he loses it off the lip. And now Vancouver try to race the other way. Jake DeBrusk will chip this in off the end glass. Dustin Wolf. Good outstretched pass here for Farabee, but this will go back to the Canucks. Canucks will get settled now left to right off their defensive pass and flip it in. Dakota Joshua trying to give chase now around Ball. Ball quickly try to push it the other way near the right side boards. Marty Pospisil throw it ahead. Good pace of this game. Not a lot of shots just yet as Dakota Joshua gets upended right near the right side red line. Joshua is still trying to pry with it, but it's Ball. Get the steal. Sharon Govich gets all turned around. And now Petersson. Spin back and around his own end. It's Conor Garland. Look out for him. He's pretty dangerous here for the Canucks this year. As Pospisil now the pin against the glass. Nazem Kadri against EP, the defenseman. Try to get this one again. Toward the right side of the blue line. Picked off, and the Canucks were in the middle of a change. They'll get a chance to start in their own end. Quinn Hughes. Filip Hronek. Chip this one in off the glass. It's Mackenzie Weegar. Settle back around now for Bean. Use the right side of the boards here. Coronado all tied up with Hronek. It's the Canucks with the steal. He'll try to power move toward the net. We'll finally get a stoppage. Dustin Wolf will hold on.
After all that mayhem, it all ends with the Dustin Wolf save. Vancouver and Calgary are looking more having this game as a defensive slug that saved with some chance by Niels Höglander and Filip Chytil. Höglander at the right circle. Then you got Quinn Hughes sporting two flames, trying to find the crosspass for Drew O'Connor. Then Filip Chytil went down low to go up front on Wolf. Wolf was there each and every time. So the second time it was the Flames defense that did most of the damage.
They're saying, Alec, I saw a little bit in the pregame that this might be a 2-1 type of game. Are you thinking that might be the case?
It might, because goaltending is the name of the game for these two. They don't score a lot, but most of the marquee moments have been involving goaltenders here. The Canucks need to start Kevin Lankinen because you mentioned about Arthur Shilov's numbers being way down from his playoff series. But the second part is that this is essentially a playoff game for both the Canucks and the Flames. In any case, whether goaltenders start the previous day and is going back-to-back in this case, then it makes the most logical sense of starting Lankinen on back-to-back days. No days rest in between for him.
So for Shilovs, I'm just going to get down and dirty here. Again, he was the darling of the postseason last year. I know they got it to 7 games in the mix of the Edmonton Oilers, but they didn't win it. But Shilovs, this regular season's played just 9 games. 1-6-1, 385 goals against, and an 858 save percentage. That's just not going to get it done.
Absolutely not. It's most likely going to be third-string goaltender at this role, but you're elevated to backup goaltender because Thatcher Demko's injury may be more serious than we initially anticipated.
Yes.
We were talking about how the injury may affect him, and it's just going to be for the rest of the first round, then for until a deep run, and then later. And then when he came back, he looked like a shell of himself, and he was not up to his former self. And it got him out of the contention for a 4-nation spot. Ouchies.
Yeah, Alec, they're saying, and Thatcher Demko said as much, that he might not ever be able to play pain-free goaltending ever again. And that's not a quote that you want to hear, especially considering over the years, Vancouver, all the big names that have been in and out. This has been a franchise that's still trying to find some success, but there's been a lot of revolving door pieces. Here's an entry now for the Canucks. Good interception here for Jonathan Huberdeau. He was on his P's and Q's on defense there. Hanley at the start in his zone end. The Flames have just one shot. The shot board reads 3-1 officially now with 11:15 left to go in the first. 15 shutout this season for the Flames when they won 1-0 Saturday against the Canadiens. There's a slapper for Ball. This one will stay in off the rebound. Now Rasmus Andersson tried to let it go. This one hit the netting.
Off of the block that was right in front of his vision as he looked to go towards it. I believe that their right center or left center side. He looked for something from Matt Coronado right in front. There was nothing there. Therefore, Anderson to fire a deflection right in front. But there was some sort of looks by Kevin Ball and Anderson from the point. Ball on a slapper.
Good call by you on Coronado on that deflection. I just saw that there. Third on the Flames with 16 goals this season. Face-off win. It's Michael back on the captaincy. That was a sneaky shot. Put in on goal. This is put back in on the backboards. Ball deflected. Backlund trying to put it on the net. And this just hit everybody in front. It never got a piece of Lincoln in. That was just bowling pins. As EP, the defenseman, send this one back and around the end boards. And start this again as this is sent back down off the flip. The crowd's still buzzing again. We got a good mix of red and blue jerseys in the crowd. Again, it is a road game for Vancouver. They do have 4 of the next 5 at home, but not a lot of travel here to do today. But this is the biggest one off the back-to-back. Amen. Offsides are the Canucks.
You want to play the deep pass for the rush from Teddy Bluger. The linesman saw that perfectly. When you attribute this to being a low-scoring game, we anticipate goaltending being a huge factor. If first it was Dustin Wolf's time to shine, then it's Kevin Lankinen's time to shine. It's got to be a rebound right afterwards from Michael Backward after the initial shot. And it looked like Joel Farabee got forced into the crease by Victor Mancini.
Yeah, well, Joel Farabee looked like he was stuck in there in a prison ride. He just couldn't get out of the blue part of the paint as he was getting roughed up. And now Morgan Frost, he's taken out of the circle here for Marty Pospisil. Try to get this one going. You can definitely see the size for number 76 on the side of the TV screen, but I think you guys listening in between the YouTube, Twitch, and radio side for the space as this one's sent in the other way. Flip back down the ice. This will be rolled all the way down. Pahal will see this ice and get waved off. He's going to have to take a hit to make a play, and I think he was a little too nonchalant as Conor Garland got him to cop up the puck. Slap shot from the point, save Wolf. Falls back in amongst the crease, but he's got it before it crossed the line. And now Dakota Joshua wants a little extra of the Flames.
It looked like Wolf got forced right inside the net as the Canucks were tracking the puck. So after the initial shot from the left point by Elias Petersson, the defenseman, he looked for the punch from Dakota Joshua. Wolf took that one away. Joshua's right in front. As Joshua's banking this one, there might have been a stick that forced Wolf inside the net. So that was what the doing is and what the pushing and shoving afterwards.
We're going to see what we continue to get. I know that we don't have to do much of a scoreboard watch tonight because there's only 4 games. Our only other one in progress is the Wings and the Sabres. I know you covered the Wings the other day. If I was on there with you, Alec, I probably would have pulled out what's left of the rest of my hair. But the Red Wings currently have a 4-3 lead. Zach Benson with the latest. Josh Norris, I was awfully surprised the Dylan Cousin Josh Norris swap from Ottawa to Buffalo. If Buffalo and Josh Norris continue to stay healthy, the Sabres might get the better of that trade.
Like the first round pick, along with that trade, might be the first round pick that was attached to the trade could be an acknowledgement that Norris might be the better player involved in that trade. What Ottawa's banking in is that Cousins rebounds to full form from 2023, and so far he's doing that. I just hope that Twitter didn't malfunction on the day in which I covered that game because it was going haywire all throughout Linus Olmark's 48 save masterclass.
Yeah, it might have been more so than everything else with the hack, but I get exactly what you're saying, and that's right in the mix of NFL free agency, a little bit of an X-Twitter hack. Hopefully you got all of your particulars done and accounted for.
Yeah, everything is all good and ready to go. Nothing wrong yesterday with the Hurricanes win.
That was a big, big win on that. Again, I teased a little bit of a Stanley Cup final preview. I might do that in the second intermission, the teams that I'm thinking of. But that was a big eye-opener against the Bolts.
Yeah, without Svechnikov and Orlov, nonetheless. The Hurricanes were down both players. They were game-time designations, but got the win in a huge and convincing way.
Let's check back into these two teams again. We're still waiting for the first goal. Hell, Alec and I might be saying that for a while. Shot board now is ballooned to 6-5. Flames have the edge of that, but again, the first goal Might be the one that wins it between these two. That's what Sportsnet was profiling. As we got 9:25 left to go in the first. Conor Garland, good inside out off the backhand. Gains the entry to the right side wing. He'll leave it off the drop. Might take his change. Hanley takes a hit to make a play. Kevin Hronek now has it on his right-hand side. He gets stick lifted for a moment by Filip. Hedl now off to the races with O'Connor. Good back check for Connor Zary. Off the pin against the boards. Kind of saved their bacon there as Hedl's pass goes off the back of the skate of his teammate. And Rasmus Anderson will shovel this one ahead. Rooney will be the first to get to it and try to drop for Zary. It was a good idea, but it was just a little bit too wide. Now go from left to right. Go the Canucks. O'Connor. We'll see this one get flipped in by Dustin Wolf. Will calmly make the play in behind the net. Flames get started from right to left. Number 91, Nazem Kadri. And a 1-out-4. He gets blasted, and the stick gets fallen on the hand of Petersson. And now the Flames, everybody pushing over their Hanley, Boeser. They all want a piece after that Kadri hit. He got smoked.
Now this is when the rivalry factor starts to settle inside with Nazem Kadri. He wanted to dump inside, but the Canucks, they went in there like a brick wall right onto him. And then it's all hell breaking loose from there on out. One after another. Mackenzie Weegar still wants to go. He's arguing with the player that checked Kadri in the first place. That was a walloping of a hit by the other Elias Petersson.
That's a clean hit, Alec. That's as good as it gets.
Yeah, clean hit. The puck was off Kadri's stick before the half-second mark. And when you look at the last time around between these two teams, the last meeting, we had a fight between Eric Brandstrom and Brian Lomberg. These two dropped the mitts, and JT Miller had a fight with Kevin Ball. They know each other well, and of course, they hated each other. Lomberg got himself into two fights in which he got a victory over Derek Former.
Yeah, so we might see things get a little more spicy there. Good. You always like to see those clean hits. I do notice Nazem Kadri, again, a lot of the times he will make plays, and he can do some spectacular stuff, but he is prone to take some hits. Right now, I see Zary as the only one with the retaliatory penalty.
I get that penalty, and that's a clean hit from Elias Petersson on Nazem Kadri. Yeah, I get that as Connor Zary wants to get a piece of the younger Elias Petersson, and after that hit, this rivalry never dies. And of course, Zary, even if you know that there's going to be a penalty out of this one, I appreciate Zary for stepping up for his guy.
So Connor Zary sits in the box. He's the only one that's got a penalty now, and the first power play of the game belongs to the Vancouver Canucks. Shot board is 7-5. Again, Quinn Hughes, injured or not, he's that power play quarterback. That's going to make them so much more dangerous. Here's an opportunity near the right side dot. Garland send this one back for Elias Petersson, the center man. As an off the half spin. Boeser, Quinn Hughes. We'll set this one near the right side boards. Petersson wide open near the right side dot. Hughes takes the wrister. This deflected right to Wolf. Will hold on.
Elias Petersson had all that room for Quinn Hughes to pass towards. Hughes opted to go towards, I believe, Boeser on this pass, unless if I'm mistaken for Conor Garland. He opted to go to Boeser, and as he was looking towards the bumper where Garland's position, he goes back to Hughes, and Garland redirects Hughes' shot, in which Wolf tracks well with his eyes.
That's a really good save for Wolf because honestly, Alec, that deflection for Garland was darn near perfect.
It was right spot on onto the top corner.
Kevin Hronek now short-handed, trying to work his way on the backhand. He gets dispossessed by Hughes, and now Conor Garland gets another opportunity here. Will crisscross with Hughes. Hughes now still patient, leaves for Conor. 1 minute left to go in Vancouver's power play. Here's an entry now from Petersson. Lead for Hughes. Good work for Huberdeau. Gets the steal. Flames do have numbers on this short-handed if they go quick enough. Rooney now. Here for Huberdeau. They'll skate backwards with it. So the Flames do an excellent job killing time here. And they'll get some changes. They have the puck. Kevin Ball will just slap shot this from 150 feet. Back in mind, the inboard Sharangovich pushes this in deep. Got to make sure you don't commit too many forward. As Quinn Hughes. Now send this one here for Filip Hronek. Kiefer Sherwood is the hits leader in the NHL. He's got the puck, and he's a hit leader by over 100. He's got a ton. As this one sent here for Rasmus Anderson. Full length clear down the ice. And Calgary should be able to kill this whole thing off. That's some excellent penalty killing. 17-17 in the last 5 games for Ryan Husker's squad. 6:40 left to go in the first. Filipino gets dispossessed for a moment. This puck will go into the corner. And Pius Suter now full strength. Here's a deflection. Big slap pass, one more. Another block. Suter again scores! Second rebound opportunity. And Dustin Wolf never saw it. It's Pius Suter with the first.
Calgary had that masterful penalty kill. They didn't allow Vancouver a chance after that redirect from Conor Garland afterwards. It was all Calgary on that penalty kill, but up until then, as Pius Suter got his own rebound back after the initial block from Joel Hanley, Suter aimed for the top corner and found the back of the net to right the opening red left of this game. We mentioned about who's going to score the first game. Well, it didn't take all of the first period to get the opening goal of this game. It was Suter on getting his own rebound off the block from Hanley, and then it might have touched one of the Flames. It might have went out of Hoover, though, on its way towards the top right corner.
That's Suter's 17th. He's got 17 goals, 14 assists, 30 points, and a +2. Honestly, dare I say, Alec, he's having a pretty darn good year. He
has. As a fourth liner, he's having himself a solid season in Vancouver's depth chart. As a fourth liner, at 13:33 of the first period, we talk about how what it would take for Vancouver to get their forward scoring once again. How the forwards would do after the trade that JT Miller went to the Rangers. How they would do from here on out? Well, there might be one answer. We see more.
Now toward the right side from Morgan Frost. The Flames have possession. They're trying to get this next goal. Here's an opportunity here. Bean lets it go. Good glove save, lengthening near the right post.
And towards the far side, Jake Bean was cruising down at the near half boards and looked towards that far side. It's a low percent shot, but it's doable for when you have that wide open net. You only have the glove to beat. But Pospisil saying this read, you want to redirect this towards the top side. There might have been something to give there for Pospisil towards the top right corner, I would believe, but it was a smart shot by Bean.
And Lincoln, and again, it's not too much removed from the extension that he got, worth about $5 million plus a year, which seems like a big number, but honestly, it's not, because the 1A, 1B that they want to mix in between Demko, Shelovs, and Lincoln, and Lincoln has been pretty good. I'm glad he got that extension because he deserves it. It's Conor Garland. This one flipped into the right side boards. Dustin Wolf not going to get the shutout today. Leaving out for Kevin Ball off the long flip. That was almost a great play there for the Flames. You got to get back on side, though. Rasmus Anderson will just elect to throw it in instead. I'm not sure why. This one's picked off there for a moment for Nazem Kadri, and a hands in the air. I guess it's going to work out because the Flames are going to the power play.
What comes around goes around, and that looked like the easiest tripping call we're going to get here in this game. And it appears Conor Garland is going to be the guilty party after Suter got the opening goal. Series-winning goal in the first round against Nashville. He gets Vancouver onto a frenzy among the Canucks fans that made the trip here to Calgary.
So Dustin Wolf, 6 of 7. Kevin Lincoln, 8 of 8 on his back-to-back starts. Again, for Lincoln's numbers, just for a reference here, 22, 13, and 7. 253 goals against, 905 save percentage, and 4 shutouts. Honestly, Alec, all things considered, I don't know if you could ask any more from Kevin Lincoln.
I don't think you could. He's having himself one of his best seasons of his career. Not since when he landed into Nashville when he had a nice season, when he was backing up Hughes Saros. Now you can say that this is his first full-time season, which he has been the primary starter of a team, and he's been going solid. I'm looking at Lincoln and being one of the better goaltenders among Finnish net minors in the league. And given that his company would use Saros in that category, even though Saros has not been seeing the numbers that he's been having, this is an opportunity for Lincoln to step up. And with the Four Nations based off with Finland, he rose to the occasion as Finland's number one net miner statistically.
Yes, he did, Alec. That's a good call by you. I'm looking at this. I know the Red Wings would still be 4 points out, but man, oh man, what a night in homecoming essentially against a former team. Patrick Kane just scored again. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists, and a +2 on 5 shots as the Red Wings have a 5-3 lead. He gets his 17th on the power play from DeBrincat and Raymond.
Yeah, when the Red Wings need to have something to do here after that trade deadline when they trade away Joe Valeno to the Blackhawks for Craig Smith and Peter Mrazek. I don't know if either one of them are needle movers, and the popular consensus is that they're not. But the reliance on top-end talent goes to show how good they are among the top 6 forward core. Raymond, Larkin, Kane, DeBrincat, you name it, among them. And those key forwards are still going to give Detroit a chance until the very end. I just wish they did more at the trade deadline, though.
Yeah, we can talk more about that as well, maybe even off the scenes, Alec, because I feel like I have a lot to say, a little burning desire. This one deflected now for Huberdeau. Here's a good touch pass from Nazem Kadri. Morgan Frost will collect near the left side. Got Frost. And on the high slot now for Mackenzie Weegar. Calgary really wants to get this even on the power play. Their 18th penalty kill for Vancouver's been good. It's top 5. There's this one now for Kadri. And the bumper Huberdeau sends this one across. And this one, I think, bounces out of play with 1:31 left to go in Calgary's power play.
Yeah, it did bounce out of play. There was a touch pass intended for the slot, and that was deflected out, and that's what resulted in this stoppage. But there were some looks. There was one at the right circle that could have been a one-timer or fired home, unless the defenseman got back on time. Jonathan Huberdeau tried to make the cross pass in front where Morgan Frost was coming in hot, right in front of Kevin Lankinen. That bounced out, and we have to face up.
This bounces all the way down. The Canucks able to get the clear successfully. Morgan Frost and Joel Farabee, again, those were the pickups for the Philadelphia Flyers. I think it made a lot of sense for Conor. Again, you lost Justin Kirkland and Anthony Mantha for the year. Justin Kirkland was kind of the shootout specialist for the Flames, if you can believe that. He was absolutely money. Hanley now. Send this one across and wait for Weegar. This is a good deflection. Weegar's got to get back on his horse now. Here's an opportunity for Kiefer Sherwood. Excellent penalty killing for both of these teams right now, as it's 4:15 left to go in the first. Morgan Frost sends this one across. And off the drop pass, Coronado. Now for Rasmus Andersson. One more time for Matthew Coronado. Here is a hold and a wait here. Coronado near the right side bumper. He wants the puck. Rasmus Andersson lets it go to the screen, and this one is saved by Lincoln's left pad. Sent back down, bounce off of Rasmus, and Rasmus now off the spin back and around his own end as O'Connor able to press him back on behind the net. 3:45 left to go in the first round with you alongside Alec Nava and Ian Genji. Here is Farabee. This is a tight pass and across the blue line, and Rasmus Andersson can't hold. Everybody got to check back up as Coleman now try to race for the puck, multiple time Stanley Cup champion with the Lightning. Race the other way now is Farabee. He's got to be on the edge of his shift there as Elias Petersson will go ahead and give chase for it. And now it's a good penalty kill there for the Canucks. Farabee sends it across Sharangovich. And this is bouncing off the stick and toward the right side. Hanley keeps this one in. Farabee now trying to get inside out positioning. DeBrusk will pin him against the wall. Conor Garland takes a hit to make a play. Flames still battling for this puck with 3 minutes left to go in the first. Shot board is 10-7 Calgary, but they're down by a goal courtesy of Pius Suter. As this one's now chipped into the left side blue line. And off the spin, it's Quinn Hughes. He got smoked and along the right side boards. You got to be careful there. Kevin Rooney now slowly gets it the other way. Hanley walks in. This slap shot blocked for Marcus Pettersson. Beautiful deflection there as this is settled back down for Vancouver. And around the end boards, Brock Boeser wanted it, but this would chip into the right side red one and sent back around the embankment. Hanley flip this one down. And now this will be EDP, the defenseman, drop this one back around the other way. Chipped in off the glass and stolen the left side red line by Calgary. And off the spin and turn, that's Nazem Kadri. He drew the latest tripping, but Calgary didn't score on it. Ball. Will stutter step. Start this one again for Rasmus Andersson. It's Frank Kadri scores! What a goal!
Oh, he undressed Kevin Lankinen on his way to the net. What a pass! What a setup! Oh, Lankinen had a chance in stopping that. Kadri went backhand, forehand right around him and tied this game up at 1. Wow!
That is unreal. What a pass, as you said, for Rasmus Andersson. Right up the gut, backhand, forehand, dipsy doodle around Lankinen, dropping his jock strap And the Flames tie this one up at 1. That is nasty from number 91.
Make this a goal of the year candidate, please.
Oh.
I can't stop watching this enough.
We've seen Nazem Kadri score some special goals. Hell, you remember the one earlier in the year, Alec, where he hurdled over the defense to stay on his feet and score. He's got his 23rd from Rasmus Anderson the ball, but hit the replay button on that one, please, as this is now picked off by the Flames. That's got to give them some jump. Morgan Frost, now Marty Pospisil, toward the right side dot, and off the spin, Marty trying to hold this one on the Flames. He just can't do it. Now and across the center ice line, this will be slowed down by Kevin Lincoln. And again, he tried to poke check Nazem Kadri. He didn't win the race there. That was a tuck in, putting the baby right to bed. Now Pospisil near the right side corner here for Conor Zary. Shots are 11-7. Again, it's Pius, Suter, and Nazem Kadri with the goals as we sit tied at 1. And we get a hand pass.
We were staying on the hand pass. The Nazem Kadri goal was dangalicious. And I remember that goal against the Penguins last year in the Mika Kiefer jersey retirement when he went around the defense and then cut in front. Well, this is a different version of it. This time he goes inside, but then in Big South, Kevin Lankinen entirely. Marcus Petersson was late to the puck, and he was caught up on that play. No chance for Petersson to recover.
They just showed it on the Sportsnet side. The last time these two teams met, or at least in one of them, on December 31st, and New Year, and the side for New Year's, it was a mix of Nazem Kadri with the game-winning goal on New Year's Eve, as this one's flipped back down. Picked up now in a 1-1 game, it's Ball, the former New Jersey Devil here for Conor Zary. Zary's still on my bingo card as far as anyone that can do damage. I know he's still getting his feet underneath him, but got to watch out for number 47, especially in the future. I think he could be an automatic 30-goal scorer. That's how much I think of him. As this is picked up down to the right side for Mackenzie Weegar. Coronado. This is a good touch ahead here for Kadri. He's back out there. Huberdeau. Kadri. Short side chance. Big rebound. This one's thrown in the corner. Now Hanley now. We'll send this one the other way. Again, when number 91 gets going, it turns the Flames into a completely different team. As this is picked up off the stutter step. Good move. And Calgary will send this one in as Coronado. At least be able to keep this at a 1-1 game. I think Calgary would take that, and Vancouver probably would off the back-to-back as well. As this is a bounce and off the left side boards, down to 2 seconds, and that ends it. After 1, it is 1 apiece. Kevin Rooney, we'll see if we get any extra punching at the end of the period, and now we're going to get a little bit of a scrum. This one's not done yet, Alec.
No, it's not. Just when you think it's over, you have one more surprise for you between these two Pacific Northwest rivals. Of course, the rivalry runs deep between them. They saw it during the playoffs. 04, 2015, Calgary won both of those times. 7 games, 6 games between the Stanley Cup finalist Flames in 04, the Cardiac Flames in 2015. When Martin Pospisil got into it, it was aiming at the end of it. Kevin Rooney in the mix of it as well. You see that the officials have broken all of them up just in the nick of time before this could get any worse. Of course, these are rivals, and they hate each other. And given that this is essentially a playoff game for both of them, the stakes are raised to a maximum.
Yes, it is, Alec. I can't wait for you to take control of the second period and see what we get. Now, I do have a lot prepared. I don't want to sit and wait for Cooper because I already got you in here, so that way we can go ahead and just have this intermission conversation because I don't know if he's going to get here or not, but I got a lot prepared. I know you probably covered some of this stuff on the deadline, but let's just go through some of these quotes. Again, this is via the Adam Gold Show in North Carolina. This is Rod Brendamore on Mikko Rantanen. If you haven't heard these quotes, I got a lot of stuff here for you today between multiple teams. So on Mikko Rantanen, Rod Brendamore says this: there's not been one guy that has left Carolina because he didn't like it here, but that was Mikko, and he didn't like it. When he showed up, he said, there's 4 teams I'll play for, and you're not one of them. When he talks about other players, there's 28 other teams that he wasn't going to. Should we have known that before we signed him? Jake Getzel would have stayed if we offered him the contract that he wanted, but we didn't. A couple more for you. All the other guys that walked out of here, I'm afraid it's because they got paid a lot more money than we were offering. They wanted to stay. And then the last one for you. Carolina wasn't for Mikko Rantanen. I appreciate that he let us know, says Rod Brendamore. But as an organization, we probably should have known that before we made the deal. What are your thoughts, Al?
If Mikko Rantanen was not wanting to stay in Carolina. I think it should have been known before the deal was made. The general consensus was on the Rantanen front that either he was going to be A, used strictly as a rental by the Hurricanes, or B, traded to another team in the midst of the trade deadline. It just feels like one of those times in which you feel like you're stabbed behind your back if you're Carolina, because you go and get the forward that you want to get to add to your scoring touch. I get that he has been rather off with Carolina with 6 points in 13 games. There still was a lot of season left to build a budding chemistry with Sebastian Aho, who was his countryman, by the way.
Yeah.
And the fact that Rantanen said that has the Hurricanes fans getting stabbed in the back and such. Extension talks fell apart with Colorado. I know that Colorado is not wanting to pay him anything above $12 million per year. Rantanen turned down an offer that was $12.5 million per year, and he settled for $12 million per year. I felt that he was looking more towards the fit and the system that benefits Rantanen himself, one that's more designed for offense, and that better suits Dallas in his opinion. For Carolina, I still felt like that there could have been something with Aho, his countryman, but it's not worst case scenario for Carolina. You do get a good haul return between Logan Stankoven and the 2 first-round picks. I get the Hurricanes are a little worse off now, but they'll be all right in the future.
You just went into the second point I was going to bring up, and I'm glad you did, because damage control, how do the Hurricanes do? Alec and I probably think they did quite well. So January 24th, that's when Carolina first got Rantanen from Colorado. March 7th, he's already gone. So Logan Stankoven, Taylor Hall, Mark Jankowski, Niels Junethorpe prospect, conditional first in 26 and 28, a third in 26 and 27, all in. Out for Carolina at that time, Mikko Rantanen, Marty Natchez, Jack Drury a second and a third in the upcoming draft, and a fifth in 2026. All things considered, I think they did quite well. But I will say this as the one last thing for Carolina, Alec, and I know you know this well. It's not an argument for both of us. But Marty Natchez is an excellent player. For those that thought he was a little bit handcuffed in Carolina, again, in that system, we can argue that, and I think we both agree. But you can't tell me Marty Natchez isn't a great player, because look at what he's doing with Colorado, and Nathan McKinnon elevates other players.
He's perhaps the most underrated forward in the NHL,
Thank
bar
you.
none. Given the fact that people are going to mention Brock Nelson, and I'll argue Natchez on the basis that he is a super talented player. I know about the handcuff by the Carolina system part, but he was great on that second line. And now that he's riding on the top line of Colorado, he's unlocked another level to his game. And I'm happy he's doing well in Colorado.
So other highlights across the deadline, and then we'll go in a little more alongside of the Avalanche. I want to hit this Tampa Bay Lightning deal. So Tampa Bay gets Oliver Borkstrand and Yanni Gourde, and defenseman Kyle Quinn in a fifth round in 2026. Seattle gets Michael Eyssimont, a second round, and a first in 26-27. I know it might seem like a lot to pay, but we already know that Tampa's deep. I know Carolina gave them the business in the last time out, but I really like those additions there to bring Yanni Gourde back and get Oliver Bjorkstrand. That might be just what Tampa Bay needs to try to get a real push at this for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
While Bjorkstrand and Gourde haven't made an instant impact on Tampa right now, what other trade deadline acquisition hasn't made an instant impact? Of course, it can start off slow, but down the line, when these two get acclimated into the lineup, I think Tampa will be just fine in the future. Bjorkstrand can fit into the second line with Brandon Hagel and Anthony Cirelli. As of right now, John Cooper's having Nick Paul onto the lineup. Honestly, you can alternate between Paul and Bjorkstrand on the second and third lines. You will not go wrong there. Gourde is back onto his familiar role in Tampa, third line center. That was the role that he had between Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman. And now he's back on his familiar role. He thrives in Tampa in that spot. He thrives in Seattle in that spot. What else is there to say than he's going to thrive in Tampa on the third line role spots?
Yeah, I agree. You bring back in the familiarity. You already have a really deep team. And I think it's going to work out well once everything gets going. The real shock for me, again, this was when I was doing the Sharks game on that side. So the Florida Panthers get Zeph Jones via retention, but they also had Brad Marchand. Again, they have to lose Spencer Knight to the Chicago Blackhawks. And Spencer Knight had a hellacious first game where he stopped, 39 of 40, and ended up getting the win. But also for the Florida Panthers, I know I sent this across to Alec. We didn't get a chance to talk about it in public yet, but Aaron Ekblad out for 20 games courtesy of PEDs. And that automatically puts him, if you're keeping track at home, Alec, all the way out through Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Well, out until Game 2,
Game 2.
Essence, because he got suspended with 18 games to go in the Panthers season. But that acclimates to him trying to take care of a previous injury that he was trying to treat. But there are some substances he just can't use. However, I think he is trying to contest that it was an act that he mistakenly took an illegal substance. That's what the feeling I'm getting. What sparked these two trades for Seth Jones and Brad Marchand is that the Panthers moved Matthew Tkachuk to the LTIR because of his injury from the Four Nations faceoff. The Panthers expect that he'll be back for Game 1 of the playoffs. Jones was a necessity because they need to fill in that huge gap that was missing at second pairing right shot defenseman. Because Brandon Montour is now in Seattle, it benefits Florida that Jones is under team control for 4 more years after this season. Marchand is for the rest of the year because he's an impending free agent. But this was a shock. The Bruins wanted an impasse in contract negotiations, and Marchand wanted an extension. The Bruins are not wanting to compromise, and Marchand told them, the only team I want to get traded to is the Florida Panthers. The Bruins granted his wish, and that left him with no leverage, just a conditional second-round pick in return.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Again, he mixed those demands. Again, it didn't seem like Brad Marchand was asking for a whole heck of a lot. Don Sweeney wouldn't bend. And now potentially when things really get going and you get Tkachuk back and all that, hopefully you could have a mix of Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, and Matthew Tkachuk. And that's not going to be fun to play against.
No, absolutely not. You speak of Marchand being nicknamed the Rat. We can possibly name this line the Rat line. True to its name.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, I will want to mention one last thing, and then I'll save the rest of it for the second intermission, because I do have a tease that I want to leave for that. But the Colorado Avalanche, Alec, a lot has changed for them in this season. So I'm going to go through this briefly, and then we can have some thoughts on it. So in Jimmy Vesey, Charlie Coyle, Brock Nelson, prospect William Dufour, defenseman Ryan Lindgren, Eric Johnson, goalies Mackenzie Blackwood on the 5-year extension of 2030, Scott Wedgwood, and prospect Nicholas Kemp. Out, forwards Callum Ritchie, Juuso Parssinen, Casey Middlestad, William Zellers, Giovanni Smith, defenseman Calvin Hahn, Oliver Shillington, and goalies Alex Gergiev and Justice Onanen. And the last thing for me, in a 2026 fifth, out 2 seconds and a 4th rounder in this draft, a first in 26-27 on the conditional from the Nelson deal, and a 3rd in 2028. And oh, by the way, Valerie Nichushkin is back. He had a hat trick in his first game back with Colorado. Keep him on the straight and narrow. But that was a lot for Chris McFarland and Joe Sakic to do. I know there's been a lot of moving and revolving chairs, but the Avalanche look really good, and I think that they had an excellent deadline as well.
One of the key winners of the deadline, of course. They had to deal with the loss of Nico Rantanen to Carolina, all by Dallas, but they more than made up for it by getting Natchez, Nelson, Coyle, and all those names that you mentioned. The Avalanche look like a team that's on the playoff bridges to being a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. Whoever takes the Central Division between the Stars or Avalanche out these two, I think the Stars and Avalanche are going to meet each other for a Western Conference final spot. I get the sentiment of the Winnipeg Jets and them adding Luke Shen and Brandon Tanev. But the Stars and Avalanche did a lot more. But namely the Avalanche, they did the most to try to get themselves to a potential second Stanley Cup. This is going to be very tight and to the wire between these two.
I'm glad you said that in between those two teams, Alec, because that's part of the stuff that I'll tease into the second. As far as some milestones, I got another quote for you, and I'll give you a Stanley Cup Finals prediction in the second intermission as well. So I might be hedging my bets a little early, gentlemen, but I'm going to leave that as a tease for the second. Just glad to hear your voice again, Alec. How was your trip? How was the deadline? What interesting things did you do? And yes, by the way, as we get in the next couple of weeks, if you're still locked in for that opening day between the Dodgers and Tigers, I'm still on board for that.
Oh, yeah. We're still locked in for opening day on the 27th. The trip was good in itself. Went to visit family over at Puebla. I went to visit this town called Zacatlan. It's a small town over in it's the central side of Mexico. But we went in towards the central part of the area, and we got to see a factory that makes clocks. This factory's been running for over 100 years, by the way. But we got to visit some of the key moments of what made this factory famous and the history of the clocks that they produced over the past. And also, around this time, we also went to some of the forts over at the northeastern side of Puebla, and also around the town as well. So a lot to see. Just hoping that the next trip it would be. Yeah, I don't know.
Still got plenty of time before all that stuff goes on. Again, did Patrick Kane just score another one? Because now I see 6-3. And all I'm seeing is number 88 putting on a circus here. My goodness.
Well, actually, it was Marco Casper with his second of the night. So he's the sixth Detroit goal.
Good.
And
but it's Kane's fifth point. By the way, he has a secondary assist.
Good Lord. But, gentlemen, this game here is really important if you're a Blues fan. Mm-hmm. And as you've been commentating, I've been going through the next few games that each of them played. What I am hoping for in this is that Vancouver wins outright. They do not go to overtime. Calgary does not get a point because tomorrow the Blues play the Penguins, who, while still a challenge, are on the downslide right now. If Vancouver wins tonight, they'll have 71 points. If the Blues win tomorrow, and they too will have 71 points. They will be tied. The Blues will be ahead of the Calgary Flames for the moment. But the Blues are going to get a little bit of help in Calgary's next game because the Flames' next opponent after the Canucks are the Avalanche, who have been playing at a lethal clip.
I'll be covering that game on Friday as well, as far as the Flames and Avalanche, because usually when those two teams get together, regardless of the scoreline, there's always fireworks, and they still have one more meeting. Again, as you mentioned, Ian, it does not get easier for there. But when I last talked to you in the mix, Ian, we were kind of thinking, and I was not hedging my bets too far ahead, but I said, look out for St. Louis. I know they don't have games in hand, but if they can just pick it up a little bit, and then boy, oh boy, as you talk about, they're right there in the race right now.
Now, the only thing that Vancouver right now is actually in the best position in this scenario because their next opponent is the Blackhawks, who on any given night may surprise you, but more often than not, a superior team like the Canucks will beat the Blackhawks. So you can't really hope for a victory from them.
No, but as you gentlemen know, especially on the side of it, Alec, you have to take care of your own business. You can't expect teams to help you out this time of year.
No, you have to expect the unexpected, and these types of games could be on the horizon if you're not careful. At this time of the season, the witching hour could come supreme. If you remember from 2 seasons ago, when the Panthers and Penguins were battling for the final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference, all the Penguins had to do was beat the Blackhawks, and they're in the playoffs. Guess what happened? The witching hour. The Blackhawks, in the second to last game so far of Jonathan Taves' playing career, beat the Pittsburgh Penguins and kept them out of the playoffs, allowing the rise of the Panthers as we know them today.
Yeah, I don't think there's any bigger one than that. Again, I'm thinking about the Wings last year as the Capitals with the wins in regulation get the tiebreaker over Detroit. They get in. Again, I think that was a few years ago, Alec, that Buffalo was a point from making the postseason. And then ever since then, it's just been completely downhill for the Sabres. And I was going to say the same thing about the Red Wings, but at least they're winning today, because if the Red Wings would have lost this one, they would have dropped 7 in a row.
And you need this win in any way possible, because in March, in the last season and this season, March has not been kind to the Red Wings.
No.
They needed this game in any way. Of course, I know it's against the Sabres, but you have to take what you can.
Yes.
And the starting point here is against Buffalo. Build some positive momentum on the way to a potential playoff berth. I know you're sticking with your current core, but you need this.
One last thing. Go ahead, Ian.
I'll try to interrupt real quick, but I just looked ahead. The Blues have to keep pace with the Canucks until the 20th. That will be the last time they face the Canucks in the regular season. So they have to either get ahead or keep pace with them until then.
That's a big meeting on the last part of it. I was going to say to your point, Alec, I'm going to let you take over here in a minute. But you talk about the March Madness for the Red Wings. They haven't made the postseason since 2016. And from 2018 on, in between March, they've lost 6 up to 12 in a row all the way through March and April. It's not kind at the end of the year where they fall apart.
Not the type of madness that you want where
Nope.
if you're the Red Wings. So you have to take a role reversal if you want to speak of March Madness. Which, speaking of March Madness, I want to give a shout out to the High Point Panthers men's basketball team on the first ever trip to March Madness with the win of the Big South Championship.
I'm so glad I saw the video on the side of it. Happy for you on that side. Alec was able to see that again. I was trying to get Oakland back in the tournament, but they ended up calling a timeout on themselves with 2 seconds remaining and taking out the game-winning layup. So I'm still salty for that, but I'm happy for High Point.
That's got to sting about Oakland taking a timeout to erase the layup. Thanks, John. I don't know if I'm going to cover High Point's opening game in March Madness. I'm hoping I will, though whoever we face, I don't know how good our chances are of winning in the first round, but let's go and have fun, boys. Let's do this.
Win the round, get in, at least win a game, feel really good, and you remember that for the rest of your life. Hell, just making the tournament you remember for the rest of your life. You take it away in the second.
Here we got both benches being occupied here to start this second period, and here we go. Tied at 1. I'm Alec Nava alongside John Ott and Ian Genji. It is a goal scored by Pius Suter for Vancouver, and it's always been up thanks to Nazem Kadri's highlight reel red lamp. And this one jumped all the way down. I believe the arm is going to be up in the air for the icing, and it is.
So immediately we already get a hit and a stick tied up in between Michael Backlund and Mancini as we had that icing.
Yeah, these two know each other, the teams. But though Backlund more of the old guard, Mancini more of a younger defenseman. He was part of the return package in the Miller trade that got Filip involved. So all the kid line is now gone with the Rangers, with Tocchet with the Kraken, and Keto with the Canucks. Lafreniere is the only one left on the Rangers among that kid line. Right point, slapper, stopped by Wolf, and he will scoop it up from the ice and come.
It's crazy, Alec, that you mentioned that, and I agree with you, but you look at that and say there was so much promise for the New York Rangers in the kid line, but for whatever reason, they just can't develop the players that they draft.
Lafreniere was the most successful example of a player that they drafted living up to their pedigree, albeit it's been taking a lot more time than initially anticipated. Shesterkin is the success. Ryan Lindgren's success, even for his regression this year, it's still a success because he's developed into a high-beam defenseman, and part of the return package they got from the Rick Nash trade, in which he went to Boston. On the face-off, Wolf saves this as this goes to the left of him, and he covers again.
So thank you to Sportsnet for this stat as Alec and I were chatting. 1 in 6 are the Canucks off back-to-backs. That has really got to get better if they want to hold a playoff spot.
And that's why they need this win here. The Canucks, they know they have a losing record in the second half of back-to-backs, so they need to get this game to reestablish themselves into the Western Conference playoff picture. Up at the point, it is Quinn Hughes, who walks around Huberdeau. Hughes getting this down towards Gretzky Sophis on a tie-up with Rasmus Anderson. Oglander going to track it. Kadri can, and he will backhand this one to center. It's still for grabs. Kevin Paul bats this thing in deep. From the far corner, it is Vancouver picking it up. DeBrusk chipping it through the far half boards, and the first one on the retrieval is Mackenzie Weegar. And what the better utility defenseman who can play both sides and is very good at playing both sides of the ice. Suter backhands this backwards, and Vancouver gets reset forward. Over the penalty box doors on this chip in front for the dump, and Hadley will stick this over to the far half boards. A little slip up of Vancouver. We'll skate around with this puck some more, and Garland fires it through the far side. Wolf can't slow down. Helping him, though, is one of his teammates. Oh, a bad pass. That was intended for Suter, and that allows the Flames to scoop it up on their own end. Mackenzie Weegar makes the pass and then delivers it up front for Conor. Picked up by the Canucks as they look to get back the other way. Here's Coleman with it, but he had it for a split second before it's picked up by Vancouver. Not for long, though, as the Canucks have it one more time. Hughes, who does a full 360 and then moves it up through the far side of the ice. Closing in now are the Canucks as they look for a lane. Right point, quick shot. That might have been on piece up by Dustin Wolf. It hit the side of the cage. So close to find the back of the net. Hughes almost lost it for a moment. Pursued by Coleman. Now over to the slot. In pursuit is Marcus Petersson. Petersson fires, and that one is up. Marcus Petersson tried to go after this puck. Could not be caught off for a little while, though, but Marcus Petersson is still there. Taken away by Vancouver, or actually Calgary. Goalkeeper could not get up to this puck. And Blake Coleman wants to get to the net. That puck didn't ever reach him. From the far corner, this is now scooped up by Rasmus Anderson. They like to shoot, and Langdon made the save. Rebound in front. Langdon went coast to coast for another one. Near corner this time around. Anderson is still going after the puck. Anderson had to take it away from it, and the Canucks will have to reset. And they get this in deep. Picked up by Huberdeau from his own blue line. Huberdeau still tracking. Huberdeau out of front, poked away. A race for this puck is won by the Canucks. It is Marcus Petersson. Firing it is in deep as Wolf plays out of his own crease. Calgary resetting as he fires towards the neutral zone and is scoped up by Former. Set backwards, and the Flames want to get something onwards but can't. It's the Canucks resetting with this puck. Derek Former calmly makes his way in, whipping it over to the far corner. Tracking this puck now is one of the Canucks, and now Former slots his one. The rebound in front, and two saves there by Wolf. And nearly wasn't turned over, but was picked up by Pospisil. Martin Pospisil dumped this in from behind the red line. No icing as Sherwood goes his first there. The Flames hold it. It is Pospisil. Pospisil wants to go to Frost. He is cut off. And it's clear. It's all the way out. And Flames will look to reset as it's Bahal. Bahal through the middle. Send it backwards over the beam. And now back with Bahal, who could have reached out for this puck. And it's a bunch that didn't make it all the way through from Pospisil. Marcus Petersson, or actually Derek Former, resets. He'll handle this one from his own blue line. Oglander for the near half boards. Around Bahal. Oglander fires and is turned away by Wolf. The Flames look to clear. The Canucks hold it for a split second, and then DeBrusk swings and fires it over to the near corner again. Still is up for grabs. The Flames clear one more time. They move with the ice with numbers. At the left point, deep shot, deflected, and Langdon makes the stop on Nazem Kadri. Another chance. That was a wild opportunity. Now Huberdeau was there in front. Elias Petersson, the forward, wearing the number 40, tied up at the red line. The Flames will reset with the puck. A tie-up at the Canucks blue line to go late offside here, and the whistle blows for 50 into the second.
So you got Rasmus Anderson there, Alec, just off of the rebound from a severe angle, gets thrown on the front of the Nazem Kadri, up a long chance in the point, as that one just misses off of a severe angle as well. So chances from crazy chances on the side of the ice, from all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And these goalies have had to keep their head on a swivel, but especially Lincoln.
Not often do you see goals from sharp angles like that, like what just Rasmus Anderson fired in from. But that was the case last night when Seth Jarvis and Jordan Martin scored from impossible angles. That surprised Andrei Vasilevsky. Through the far side, this puck is going to go all the way down for the ice. Langdon will play this one out. Oh, a near turnover. And the Canucks saved their own bacon. That could have been disastrous. Conor Garland's tied up by Joel Farabee. When Hughes will pick it up with his own end. Got it across to Hronek and then back to Hughes. No penalties to speak of in the second period. But we almost start this second period, potentially on a 4-on-4 because of the scuffle at the end of the first period. Hamlin tried to backhand it away from danger. His teammate helps him out. Pospisil. This one takes a sky dive up for the air before it comes down to rest, where it's picked up by Keto. Moved up, and that's Holtwender, I believe, and it gets us down deep. O'Connor in pursuit. The Flames, at their own defensive end, looking to start up. Through the far side, is carried in deep. Kevin Rooney, severe angle shot is turned away by Langdon, and the Canucks will scoop it up. Cato tried to walk his way around center, but gets pickpocketed and the puck disagree with him. Kadri walks back in with his puck. Kadri fires his blocked by Cato, and Cato will return the favor. O'Connor, that almost went to the benches, but now it's Pahal. On his backhand, now forehand, gets this one out, and it will be up front. And then for Coronado, gets tied up by Bluger. Lomberg, also tied up by Bluger. This allows the Canucks to get this across the red line, and Niels Heyman will dump this in deep. Winger slammed towards the wall. Bluger picks it up, gets rid of the puck, and the Flames will carry it out to center. They set this in from deep, and that allows both teams to make their changes. The Canucks get to the puck as Kadri shoves Elias Petersson. Up in the far half course, moving up through the ice with speed is Holtwender. Holtwender around Paul. Towering defenseman for the Flames. Not the tallest player on the ice here. One time in right circle. That went over the net. And it comes to rest with Hughes carrying it. Hronek looks for Holtwender. And Wolf covers it up onto his chest.
He made that one look easy up a short side attempt. Is it a couple of icings that just got negated, but Ryan Lomberg had some pretty good work there defensively to force a couple of turnovers, and then we get that near misplay for Lankinen as Blake Coleman was racing in and try to get an easy goal as we go to break.
Blake Coleman's a workhorse on the ice. Tampa knew this, New Jersey knew this, Calgary knows this all too well of his workhorse epic. The workhorse from Texas. Well, it doesn't have the same nickname as the workhorse from Whitehorse that's given to Dylan Cousins.
Works all the same way, Alec, as you said. That's beautifully done, as it's still a 1-1 game. We're still waiting to see what the next goal is going to be. Alec and I, we were talking about a little bit of whether or not this was going to be a 2-1 type of game. As much as we've gotten into this second period now with 13:05 left, it really does feel, unless something turns on its head, it really does feel like next goal might win this one.
It might, given the goaltending battle. Now, am I seeing the Red Wings or the Lions? Because the Red Wings are up 7-3. They put a touchdown and an extra point on the save. Now, Ward Sider on the power play. How about that?
So the Red Wings power play that has been struggling over the last few games has certainly ignited, because now I'm looking at this and I see 3 tallies on the Red Wings power play.
This is a much-needed game for this Red Wings power play. And I know I could say something of a bounce-back game for the Hurricanes power play, but this has been a common refrain for Hurricanes power play has been ailing in this calendar year. Yes, the Canes got a power play goal from Logan Stankovic on his Carolina debut. Also in the Carolina debut side, Mark Jankowski, who scored twice after scoring just 4 goals with the Nashville Predators and a 4th line role. He'll fit in seamlessly on the Carolina's 4th line between Eric Robinson and Jack Rosenick, who not only keeps the Rolex he got from Mikko Rantanen, but also gets the number 96 back.
Yeah, and the hard work, as you said, that's the most part. You get those goals from Jankowski, that's an absolute bonus.
Yeah, of course. It is an added bonus for his grit and sandpaper. Come back into action here as we're underway past the 6-minute frame, or 7-minute frame rather, because it was inside the 7-minute marker, which the salvage was made. Vancouver trying to get out their own zone, but a takeaway here by Conor Zary. John says is a future 30 goal scorer for the Flames. As Anderson keeps his puck inside, it goes a wraparound around the boards. Now a shot that might have hit Zary. He tried to duck to avoid that puck, and now this goes all the way back as Wolf plays this for Farabee, who was acquired in the first Andre Kuzmenko trade. Kuzmenko now an LA King. Vancouver restarts, and they move it up for Garland. Garland for the near boards, his puck going in deep. Pahal twisted and turned by one of the Canucks, but Pahal manages to take away this puck. High flying puck as it's a race for this icing, but the puck did not make it all the way. And the Canucks will have to reset here, and instead of the face-off at the Flames end, they have to go 200 feet at the ice, but not near half boards. Jaragovich fires. Good block there. But as the Canucks clear, and they get this one down for the ice. Pahal sees it over his head, helping him is Bean. Jake Bean off the near boards for Pospisil. Pospisil hangs on after an attempted check by Garland, and Pospisil will carry this behind Wolf's crease. Here is Pahal. Pahal through the far side, now through center, as the Flames wanting to get set up. As these two teams are not just the high-scoring teams in the league, they rely on goaltending most of the time between Lankinen and Wolf. Of course, it's going to be the likings of a low-scoring game. It's now 1-1 between them. It has been the case since the first period with Kadri's goal. Around the boards, this exits out. Vancouver on the late offside decides to dump this in for whatever reason. And it will be picked up by Hadley, who is being hounded by Boeser. Sticked away by Vancouver, and they'll chop this down for the ice. Wolf will let this one go. Over the near half boards, it is Kadri. Kadri from the penalty box doors, dumping this one in. From the far boards, Coronado, left point as this gets fired around through the end boards, and then back for the near side, Winger. Offside Hadley, moves it with the far half boards. Lankinen makes a save on the Hadley wrister, and is scooped up by Quinn Hughes, who was initially the number one defenseman for Team USA in the Four Nations face-out. Giving go for Sherwood. Now it's a race for the puck off the body, and it's going to be won by Jake Bean. And we have a scuffle afterwards between Lundberg and Hughes. They certainly won't go away with the fisticuffs, and we're not done yet with these two rivals.
No, and again, as you mentioned, Hughes not backing away, but you got to imagine the Vancouver brass, considering he's still injured, they don't want him to get involved in any of that kind of stuff.
No, they don't. Given that he's dealing with the injury that he has went through in the last few games, you do not want to suffer an injury in any case. And the fact that he wasn't injured here is good news for the Canucks. The concern now for them is Derek Former because he took a block shot to the head. He's getting examination for the medical staff.
And Lomberg is going to go to the box for a cross check on Hughes. And then he was getting a little bit extra after all of that. So Ryan Lomberg was seeing red. They're already wearing red, but he's going to sit in the box now for what he hopes is 2 minutes.
That may be the case here for Lomberg as we check the box score. It is 2 minutes. Vancouver will get another chance. They had just one shot on their previous power play, but it goes to a test. Given that the both penalty kills have been so good in their previous penalty kills, it can speak to how they have been on a roll over the last few weeks and even this season. The Flames clear it. And once again, the Flames are already at work on their penalty kill units. They've killed off their last 18 penalties. They're that good on the PK. DeBrusk going across. There was a good stick there by Ball. The Canucks still with this puck. DeBrusk looking to go for the point. But it's the time at the far half boards. Boeser in the mix of it. And the Flames get all over that. But a good keep here by the Canucks to keep this one. It's DeBrusk who goes to the right side. Petersson missed an assignment. He picks the puck up though. Watched by Huberdeau. Goes one way and another. Petersson, position at the far corner with Huberdeau watching him. Where does he go? To the point for Hughes. Hughes walks around, goes back for Petersson. Plays this one, and that missed. Hughes picks it up. Hughes from the point over to Petersson. He just ties not to load up again. Hughes will shoot him. Somebody scores! Was there the budget? The question, but the Canucks don't find it. It is a power play goal. It's 2-1.
And that's the best medicine you could ask for right there. Alec in the mix. You got Lomberg messing there with Hughes and Hughes says, I'm going to take care of business, and I agree with you. We're going to see, I saw Jake DeBrusk at the celebration line. Again, the replay now is Hughes waiting for this near the left side blue line. Now crisscross in the high slot as he's got the ISO camera on him. And now we'll get the overhead. In the mix of Hughes is sending this one across. You got DeBrusk right at the doorstep, and this might have went off his stick shaft.
Right off of DeBrusk. It might have went off the stick shaft and positioned onto the right side to that right place, right time for DeBrusk. As Hughes used two players in front, including one Conor, Garland as a screen to help DeBrusk set things up at the bumper, and Hughes is letting the Flames know that he is not messing around.
It's well said. The 23rd already for Jake DeBrusk.
So far, a good season for DeBrusk in a season which the Canucks are not getting a lot of scoring from their forwards, save for the already traded JT Miller. Hughes and Elias Petersson the assists, 47th and 25th respectively. Hospital is all tied up by Suter, and that forces the puck backwards to Mackenzie Weegar. Canucks need this game by any way possible, and so far they're up 2-1. The Flames need to find a way to tie it. From the near corner, the Canucks will get this one out through center, and Calgary will reset things up for their own lead. Off the double tip, and then one more sandwich in the way at center ice. That'll get the Canucks to touch up on the puck and a whistle.
Yeah, it looked like after that goal, Alec, the Flames a little bit discombobulated. There's a couple players almost run into each other. Marty Pospisil, so you run into him, you're probably not getting out. And then Nazem Kadri near the right side boards tried to play the puck in between his own legs to get an entry as we get a whistle and a break.
There's not a lot to be said outside of Vancouver needing this one, but when I mentioned about the 18 consecutive penalties killed, I didn't think they would be done like that fast. Oh my goodness. Talk about the announcer jinx.
No, I think you're all right there, Alec, in the mix of it. Again, it's the play from Ryan Lomberg. I loved his energy and all that stuff that he brought with the Flames today. I mean, he's been all over the ice, but that was a blatant cross-check right in front of Quinn Hughes. You just can't do that when you give Vancouver a chance to open the door here. As we mentioned, both of these teams that struggled to put the puck in the back of the net. You are playing with the fire, just like the Flames usually do, and sometimes you get burned.
That is the case there for Ryan Lomberg. And you don't want to get the mental instincts the best of you here. Sometimes you have to stay cool, and sometimes you have to focus on the game ahead of you. That time, Lomberg didn't take that into account.
Nope, and that's why the Vancouver Canucks have the lead. And again, as we talk about it, is that going to be the one that is the GWG? Again, it seems like a long way to go within this game, but we've talked about it with the Flames as well. They're a team that is goal scoring by committee. And we've already seen a lot of these ones where they look exactly how they normally do. What I mean by that is shots from severe angles, send things toward the net, and hope it ends up working out. Unless you get that individual play that you got in there for Nazem Kadri, you kind of wonder where the goals are going to come from for the Calgary Flames.
They don't like Nazem Kadri, as you mentioned, but outside of Kadri, you also want to wonder, and it's fair, of where the goal scoring is going to come from. Because goaltending has been their best component. It would say someone like Jonathan Huberdeau, Matt Coronado, those are your best bets for the goal scoring. Maybe something of Igor Sharangovich as well.
Yeah, we're going to need to see more from Sharangovich. I thought he was good when he first came over here. Now he seems more like a bottom six defensive forward, but they need his goal scoring.
They need year one Igor Sharangovich back. He's been a revelation when he first stepped onto the ice.
Yeah.
But now you need to get that year one Igor Sharangovich back. Off the faceoff is won by the Canucks, who lead 2-1 despite being outshot 15-12. Goaltending has been the name of the game, but so far Dustin Wolf has allowed 2 goals and Kevin Lankinen 1. Around by the near boards. And for the far corner, the Canucks in pursuit. The Flames trying to clear it as Fairby wants to get in the mix of it, chipping this puck outwards. He does get the stick onto the puck, and the Flames clear it. Down through the ice is a race, and ahead of it is Bluger, who gets shoved late by Fairby, and the two come together again. Bluger and Fairby right afterwards, and Bluger was visibly upset after Fairby shoved him down towards the ice. Uncalled for.
Yeah, you could see that one coming a mile away for Teddy Bluger, trying to get some retaliation from the Fairby hit that I think was late in the sense off that icing there. Wasn't going to get there first, but Calgary trying to take a couple extra pieces out of the Canucks right now. I'm not saying you're not going to see that in a rivalry, Alec, but I think your attention needs to go back to try to tie this game more so than anything else.
That's the thing here. You have to tie this game up more so than getting the mental aspect the best of the year, because at these times in a tight game, in a tight contest, when you want to change the tide of momentum, the response should be just randomly going after players needlessly in a game in which you're behind by 1. You got to have to score the next goal. From the far side, the Flames off the faceoff as they wanted, looking to go the whole distance. Chip get over to the far half boards, and the return feed in front. The pass was missed, but it's kept in by Coleman. The near corner, Fairby helped this one aside. Conor Zary helping him. Coleman looks for Fairby. It's loose in the front. Lankinen helped the right post and will hold on with 8 minutes to go.
As Alec mentioned, there was a chance it was a near miss as Coleman, off that pass for the right side. That one just goes wide to the right side embankment and try to set this one back in around for Zary. Again, as he gets settled more in, he's not going to be on that fourth line, but he's coming off that long injury. Again, you'd also mentioned this too. We're talking about where the goal scorings come from. That was a shame they lost Anthony Mantha so early in the year because that's another one they would depend on.
You'd be a solid middle six forward that you would contribute to the lineup every day for Calgary. And his absence is sorely missed. Long shot blocked, and the Canucks may come with numbers. And rushing backwards is Brady Pahal to fend off to go to Joshua. Joshua gets forced behind the net. Pahal looking to defend. Garland got it off over to the right point. Long shot in front. There was no deflection. It was blocked to the near half boards. And Hadley gets this one down, and a whistle blows. We see Garland with the neck brace to protect himself. There's a penalty against Calgary. That's Pahal.
Yeah, Pahal, a little bit of a trip. I'm not going to say knee on Garland, but again, that's another needless one. We've been talking about some of that interference on Braden Pahal. And those are just two penalties in between Lomberg and Pahal now that you just can't have.
Aye. You know about how Calgary is going with the penalty code. No need to run yourself into penalty after penalty, especially in a game like this one. You know there's playoffs on the line here, and you know that Vancouver made the playoffs last year as the one seed. Even though Vancouver's fighting for a wild card spot with the analytics suggesting that they were going to regress this year, of course, you were expecting positive regression for the Canucks. But the Flames being surprised team in the league, you want to wonder if they would get the better of themselves and not let mental instincts take over them. Drop behind, Garland rushes this one in. DeBrusk back for Garland as he is racing for his puck. This is still free, and the Flames looking to clear this one out. This might be the play out of play, so no penalty.
Yep, no penalty. Deflected out of play. We're going to get another D-zone draw here for the Flames. Again, this is a must-kill. I don't normally say that with 7:16 left to go in the second, Alec, but if the Flames don't kill this one, they go down by 2. They are going to be in a world of hurt.
It would. If the Canucks score another power play goal here, a shorty could do business for them, but I don't know if they're going to score a short-handed goal like what Carolina did last night against Tampa Bay. And this one, X-Sub zone after the face-up, it outforced Kevin Lankinen to come out of his crease and waited for Quinn Hughes. Cannot cover, so Hughes is going to go up with this puck. Wake up on the watches. Elias Petersson carrying this puck inside. Petersson forced outside right. The Flames were all over him, and they cleared this down the distance. Lankinen will start this up again. DeBrusk leaving it for Hughes one more time. They get the speed guy, Garland, going up with the burst of speed. No, they'll have Hughes carry this himself. Quinn Hughes will backhand to the right circle for Boeser. Wraparound pass back for Hughes, who's positioned at the right point. Hughes going for Boeser. Boeser fires and misses everything. And this one goes out of play. I don't believe there's going to be another penalty with the play out of play.
That previous possession there, as the Canucks got entry, it was Quinn Hughes doing it all himself. He could have walked in near the right side of the dot, but he elected to back out. And Boeser's chance, as you said, got missed, and it's going to be an offensive zone draw.
Quinn Hughes doing it in everything here for Vancouver on the defensive end. Team leader in points is the only player to average a point per game right now. The advanced analytics show regression on Vancouver's part from last season. The Flames clear it out, given that it may not be sustainable this year, given how they played. They well over their heads last season. And granted, it was a magical year last year. Could they recapture that magic? Who knows? Hughes fires this one around and went off a stick shot. And the Flames will get this one down. Here they have a chance here, short-handed. Overdo! He scores! Indeed, there's the shorty we've been asking for.
That was nasty, and what a clear the other way. Point blank 2-0, the easiest finish possible. And Huberdeau gets a nasty one off of that clear the other way. That was a perfect pass. Seeing eye from the left side boards. No chance for Lankinen. 2 disgusting goals for the Flames.
A 2-0 short-handed breakaway for the Calgary Flames as Huberdeau thought he was on the receiving end. This pass was positioned at the right place, right time, and there was nothing that Lankinen could do against that one as Rooney set it up perfectly from the far half boards, and the Flames get their mojo back. One of the best penalty kills in the league, and although the Canucks still have power play time left in them, Time is fading fast after giving up that shorthanded goal. 10 seconds as such, but in all of the sorts of belief, the Canucks will see this go down without a power play goal. They scored one, but the Flames returned the favor with a shorty. County's over. We're back to 5-on-5. 21st goal of the season for Huberdeau, and it scored shorthanded. Canucks trying to set up to make this a 3-2 game. Out for the bench here is Elias Petersson, the defenseman, and that was a great block by Quinn Coleman in front to stop that slapper. And this clear goes all the way down for an icing. But what a goal and what a block by Coleman.
I'm glad that you called that out, Alec. It's 100% justice. Marcus Petersson walks into a clapper in a dive right off the instep of the skate. You can't do that any better off the saw for Blake Coleman. Well done.
Yeah, it was Marcus Petersson, not the younger Elias Petersson, but Coleman right there. The shot blocking prowess crucial for a Flames team that's looking to make the playoffs for the first time since they had Johnny Gaudreau, Elias Lindholm, and Matthew Tkachuk as their top line. It's a new look Flames team. It's a rebuilding Flames team, but one led by the foundation of goaltending, like it was when they had Mika Kiefer in those years in the 2000s. Mackenzie Weegar looks to his left for Hadley. Now moving up front onto the far half boards. The Flames fire this one off wide, and with 5:07, Vancouver resets with a 3-on-2. Hoaglander walks into a wrister that was wide the net. And then the Flames get all sorts of physicality into it. Oh my goodness. Will this ever end between them back and forth with the shoving matches?
I think Neil Zayman got a little bit of a tie-up there on the Flames. I'm pretty sure that Flames should be going to the power play, should they not, as we take a break?
That's what the belief is. And boy, did Eamon, he held down Barry. Not exactly a bear hug of sorts, but that should put the Flames on the power play. I agree with you.
Man, oh man. Again, you got 2 goals, a couple of gifts that the Flames gave the Canucks. Canucks cash in on one of them, and the tip from Jake DeBrusk off the Quinn Hughes chance. But yeah, that Nazem Kadri goal, little dipsy doodle from Rasmus Anderson and Kevin Ball, and maybe superseded by a 2-on-0 shorthanded with Huberdeau with his 23rd from Rooney and Weegar, because that was absolutely ridiculous too.
Glad that you brought that one up, because those are 2 highlight reel goals by the Calgary Flames in quick succession, one period after another. It does not get any better than this. If it's the next goal by the Flames, what else is there for me to say then? Let's see it be a highlight reel goal game winner, maybe, or we don't know if we're speaking too early, because the Canucks don't have a lot of time to get the go-ahead goal again. But the Flames have been playing excellent hockey here at home ice.
Yeah, you can say that, and at least I know this is the easiest thing to say, but I'll mention it now. And between Pius Suter, it was the 17th, DeBrusk is 23rd, and then both the 23rd between the Huberdeau and Kadri. It's all the big boys scoring for these 2 teams right now.
Yep, the big boys have been finding the back of the net. Huberdeau, Kadri, they're 23rd each for them, and now we're back to where we once started again. Or special teams being the name of the game in this second period. The Canucks power play, the Flames penalty kill. Then again, these 2 teams with their penalty kills, they've been 2 of the best in the West.
This game has been a lot of fun, Alec. I'm glad that you and Ian have been able to join me for this one. You get set to take the final 5 of the second. Eamon's going to be in the box for a hold. It's going to put the Sea of Red on the power play.
2 minutes, that is. Even 2 for holding, and it's not the bear hug on Joel Therapy, because it wasn't. Now positioned at the right side of the ice, the Flames in the red and yellow. Canucks win the faceoff. 5th best penalty kill in the NHL. They get the early jump onto this. The Flames had 2 shots on their previous power play, but the Canucks penalty kill has been so good this season. That's one aspect of Rick Tocchet's team that hasn't changed. Defense. They're a defense-first unit. At the near corner of Vancouver. Sees this one go to Calgary, but they inadvertently pass this one out of their own zone, and Dustin Wolf will start this one up. Weegar will move it for Kadri, and then drop it back as they get started up. Coronado moves around O'Connor. Off to Kadri. Kadri going towards the point. O'Connor there. Now back for Weegar, and Vancouver's all over that puck. They'll have to get reset. Morgan Frost. And boy, Vancouver's done a good job of not allowing Calgary any chances on the power play. This season against the Canucks, they're 1 for 8. Excellent job by Vancouver on killing out the penalties that they've had. And this one goes up and out. No, it's it. The red light never went on. I thought that this went out of play. The puck went in the back of the net, and it's a goal. It's 3-2.
Yeah, Alec, I'm trying to get another look at this as well, because when you got the camera shot, I see Huberdeau immediately celebrate, and I don't blame you because I would have said the same thing during the live call. This is a point that goes, I think hits the inside of the camera, crosses and goes out. That puck is in. It's stuck in behind the mesh.
Have you ever seen anything like this, John?
You know what that really reminds me of? The one where Nazem Kadri scored as a Colorado Avalanche in the playoffs against the Lightning. I didn't know that he scored. I don't think anyone else knew that Huberdeau scored, but it's a 3-2 lead for Calgary.
And I thought that time that Vasilevsky robbed him blind.
Me too.
It took a while for it to be detected into the net and was a goal, but what is it with these moments and being awkward? Now Jonathan Huberdeau takes sole possession of first place among the Flames leaderboards in goals scored. The Canucks try to answer back, but Dustin howls in the wild for the save, and the Flames clear it out. But it's no like this puck might have hit the jumbotron, so we'll have a face-off. Have you ever seen that?
No, this game's getting a little silly now in the mix of it. And you mentioned it. You got a short-handed goal. You got a power play goal for Huberdeau. You know, he's picked a good time to have one of his best nights of the year, Alec.
Given the trade in which I said Magic Kachuk to the Panthers, of course, they're all talking about how Huberdeau is going to do and how Calgary is going to have him acclimate onto the system. Now on a Ryan Huska-led team, he's getting more comfortable in an East-West style of hockey. This puck was it's hard to find, but the officials found it at the last moment, and even the goal horn operator took a while for the horn to be sounded. That's how hard it was.
Yeah, it was a very difficult call. He did a good job live, though. Again, we both have to cover it because sometimes you just see those ones where it bounces in and it gets stuck in behind the netting and you just can't locate it. It was about a 15 seconds later celebration, but Calgary is going to take it as they got the go-ahead on the power play.
Oh, that and the moment of the Patrick Kane.
Yes.
2010. You can be able to think about that when it comes to awkward goals in the late celebrations. But Kane knew it immediately when he fired the puck in the back of the net. The Canucks will get this one moving up for the near side. The Uyghurs going after this puck, trying to take it away. Vancouver's all over it, though, and as they're looking to clear, they have a rush, one-on-one. Conor Garland waits, and he'll fire across corner for the dump in. Hospital throwing a reverse hit for this puck, and now allows the Flames to scoop it up. Sharon Govich, Uyghur. Flames moving up with numbers. And stopping, I believe, is Pospisil. As he does it at Mancini, he blows a tire. No down onto the zone. And helping him out is Marcus Petersson, as this is cleared out by the Canucks. Here's Suter. Gets this down deep, and Anderson bursts to the puck, icing his way down as he was already in the defensive zone. Rasmus Anderson will feed it across the ice for Kevin Ball. This takes a bounce, and the first to the puck is Quinn Hughes, the workhorse of this Vancouver team. Hughes will send this deep, and is met by Jake B. From the Vancouver bench, the Flames looking to get this back up for the ice, and a shot by Ryan Lomberg, and a good takeaway there. Lomberg missed the net. He had all sorts of that this right side. Huberdeau keeps this one alive, though. Ball walks into it, fires it, and legging it down. Gets back up to his feet as Lomberg's trying to track the puck. Kadri keeps this one alive. Kadri falls onto his knees, trying to stay upright, while lose the puck. And Drew O'Connor steps into it onto the far side of the ice and dumps this one in. Uyghur the first to the puck. And for the near side, turning around is Farabee. Joel Farabee. Moving up through center, dumping this out to the near corner. First to the puck is Hronek. Hronek gets shoved. Zary gets the tip onto the puck, and chasing after it still is Farabee. Hronek, once again, poking that one away, and the Canucks looking to get this one out, and they do. A rush on this puck by Niels Amon, and he sends it to the near corner. A fight for the puck with 133, and stepping into his Bluger. Wrap around for the near corner, and then back the other way is Marcus Petersson. A light slapper back inside for the zone before Calgary gets this one out, and a delay
So Lomberg this time doesn't have to deal with any sort of cross check. He did a good job getting that puck away from Boeser and then just shot wide. And then another opportunity, Filip Hronek ended up knocking down Kevin Lankinen and hitting him in the head.
An accidental contact between Lomberg and Hronek that forced Hronek onto Lankinen. I'm sure Lankinen was not anticipating that, but either way, I'm surprised that there was no pushback about the goaltender. Usually, when a goaltender gets hit by means of a force into the net or a shove right to the net, you would expect pushback. But no fights here as Hughes off this Vancouver face-off win from Gretzky South as they fight for this puck. A stick lift that allows the Flames to take away this puck, and they'll move through the far side of the ice. Here's Anderson. Anderson moved for the near side on this dump it. It'll be recollected by Vancouver with 1 minute to go in the second period. The Flames have it, though. From Gretzky South, he set up winger. What time is this? The block in front. Ross tried to get the rebound, but could not fire at all. Backhands it in deep to keep this one inside. Hospital is all tied up. Elias Petersson takes it away. He is tied up as well, shoved towards the wall. Hughes helps him out as Petersson got it off on time. Freed up through center, and if I was on this puck, DeBrusk also gets contact, and then back across. Here is Hughes. There was a body down. Offside is waved off because of the shove. The Flames once again have it. Bouncing puck is recollected by the Canucks. Backhand pass is intercepted by Coronado, who tries to split to the fence. So back into the puck as Coronado tries to fight off Hronek for this puck in the near corner. Only for it to be poked away. 15 to go in this period. Alec Nava down up. Iagindi and Garland throw towards the net. Ball. Quick reaction to stick this one away. Calgary. One last rush here. 5 seconds. Sares this one out. 3 seconds. Overall. Jeff's over. Calgary fires it. Stopped by Lankinen. The question now, did it hit the mesh before the green light went on, or is this period over? The both players, both teams have not left the benches.
What a crazy sequence of passes there the other way. Good defense there for Ball to knock it away from Conor Garland, who I thought for sure was going to get a chance. And now definitively, Alec, we get our answer as both of these teams are heading to the dressing room. Huberdeau is still trying to get, I guess, let me take that back. They were going to the dressing room, and now they might be going back onto the ice. Brian Lomberg having some words, and so was Huberdeau.
I asked a question with that about how much time there is left in this period. So a little bit of uncertainty as the Canucks are walking out to the dressing room. Both teams don't know what is going on here. And before the moment, it is the end of the second period, and Lomberg is saying, hey, there's time left up on the clock. Come on, that puck didn't hit the netting with 0-0. There's still a lot of hockey to be played here. What are we doing?
What a wild second period that we had in the mix. I'll give you the quick reset before we get into the other content. Yeah, Jake DeBrusk on the power play from Lomberg's push and alongside for Quinn Hughes off that cross check. 23rd from Hughes and Elias Petersson. Jonathan Huberdeau 2-on-0 short-handed. Beautiful pass from Mackenzie Weegar near the left side boards. It was Rooney. Pass out of the air right to Huberdeau. Lifted past the sprawled and out Kevin Lankinen. And then Jonathan Huberdeau hits that one right into the back of the net. No one knew where the puck was for about 15 seconds. But Mackenzie Weegar gets another point from Nazem Kadri. Again, all the big boys have been able to get the job done. 3-2 Flames lead after 2. Dustin Wolf just 10 of 12. And Kevin Lankinen 16 of 19. As that's your reset in from the second. Quickly here, I want to go ahead for some rumblings and then give you my preview for June 2025 as I got some thoughts. But did you know that the Toronto Maple Leafs and general manager Brad Treliving were ready to deal Mitch Marner straight out for Mikko Rantanen? That was one of those deals that were on the table, but Marner wouldn't waive the no-trade clause. Now Treliving says, I want to extend Mitch Marner. Alec, is that just saving face, or does Marner say, you know what, guys, I just want to test free agency?
I don't know about all that notion, but Marner, I don't know the reaction from him because he has 1 year left on his contract. The popular talk with Marner was that he was going to be shipped out for a haul in the last offseason after the Leafs' unceremonious first-round exit at the hands of their boogeyman, the Boston Bruins. But now that Marner is being held and not dealt in a potential Rantanen trade, you remember the Leafs were one of the 4 teams that Rantanen wanted to be traded to. As mentioned, in the 4 teams they want to play for, the Leafs were in on resident alongside Vegas, New Jersey, and Florida. There was a 6 team involved in it. I can't remember the 16, but I remember 5 of the 6 teams that were involved in top sport Mitch Mark. But now, the plan here is about what the Leafs do with Mark. Do remember, he's a free agent after this season, and John Tavares' contract is also up.
Yep.
The UFA possibilities are endless. His current cap hit is $10.9 million, but the Leafs wants to get Vulture early. There are going to be a sizable number of Toronto fans who want to move in different directions with Marner. But I think that given his performance in the Four Nations face-off, I think that would be a mistake for the Leafs to walk away from Marner, given that the Four Nations face-off helped turn around his reputation.
I agree. There's something to be said about all that. And again, the cap hit's going to be big. You would think if John Tavares comes back, his cap hit's going to be significantly less to try to make sure everything fits.
Yeah, we're given the same notion as well. If Tavares could take a pay cut to stay with the Leafs, try and win something with his hometown team, he's not too far from here, from where he's from, Mississauga.
Couple things from me as far as milestones, and then I'll give you my prediction. Milestones, congratulations in order. I know this was a few days ago, but Nathan MacKinnon, at just 29 years of age, reaches 1,000 points. He's just the 100th player in history to do so. So big milestone for him. The big cat, Andrei Vasilevsky, has reached the 30-win marker for the 8th consecutive season, joining none other than Martin Brodeur and Patrick Waugh as the only goalies in NHL history to do so. And this is just me poking up some fun because I like Nikita Zadorov. In a 3-2 win for the Bruins over the Panthers yesterday, he absolutely destroyed Sam Bennett in the final seconds on Tuesday. Did you see those 5 straight rights as Bennett was just trying to hold on to Pasternak and Zadorov because he got his world rocked?
Oh, I saw the ending of that game. Even though Brad Marchand was not playing, it was his return to Boston. It was a new Sam Adams commercial on the way to Boston. Ran an advertisement, which is, I know it's unfortunate, but well, anything for commercials, I guess. One last thank you to the city of Boston with that Sam Adams commercial that's said to be released. But that was a scrappy game in his return.
Yeah.
In which the Bruins said, "Hey, we don't forget. We may be a different team, but we still have some fight left in us."
So one last thing for me, gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction. I already got this locked in for June 2025 when I cover the Stanley Cup Finals alongside you, gentlemen, for what I hope is all of the games and not get stuck in between a bunch of plans, but you never can know with the summer. So, again, I mentioned this many times throughout Hopeless Sports Guy, working with Alec, Cooper, everything else and the like. One of my favorite coverages ever is one of the first ones in through Colorcast, mixing them in now between the 2022 Cup Finals. Between the Bolts and the Avalanche, and I'm saying it now, gentlemen, even in 2025, with both teams looking drastically different, I still see heavyweight strength in between offense, defense, and solid goaltending. My only pause is the Battle of Florida, possibly in the Eastern Conference between Tampa and Florida. But in the West, I will take the Avalanche over the field. Am I completely crazy, or do you think I could be somewhat close?
I'll give you both of them. I'll give you the Lightning because I also think the Lightning will come out the Eastern Conference on my basis that if anyone thinks that they're done competing for Stanley Cups, I think people are going to be in for a surprise. Andrei Vasilevsky still has something left in the tank, and this core is still here. You got the main pieces: Point, Kucherov, Hagel, Cirelli, Hedman, McDonough, Hronek. You got the main pieces around. Once you get you guys onto the mix, Gensel, Bjorkstrand,
Yeah.
You get Gord back via trade, and you have a complete team all around you that can go up and down for the lineup. Yes, the loss of Sergachev may still sting, but J.J. Boeser has been solid when paired next to Victor Hedman. Plus, you can rotate between Conor Geeky or Gage Gonsalves at the third line right wing spot. You cannot go wrong with either one. Gonsalves holds the edge right now because he's having the better run as of late. but Geeky on the long run could be on a benefit because he's the higher touted prospect. I'll give you Tampa Bay. Colorado, that's a valid pick for a Stanley Cup contender. Mackenzie Blackwood stabilizing the goaltending. Nathan McKinnon going Super Saiyan as of late. Brock Nelson and Charlie Coyle loading up down the middle. You have elite talent on the wings as well, Martin Natchez. And solid contributors on the wings of Lehkonen, Nichushkin, and also Jonathan Drouin, McKinnon's best friend, as well as dating back to juniors. But you have all that talent, you can compete for a Stanley Cup. I also want to bring up another team.
Sure.
I know they're not a big pick to come out the Western Conference, but I cannot count them out with their low boatloads of experience. And even through a lot of roster turmoil, I cannot count them out because of their reputation. Vegas. Whenever they're down for the count, they find a way to bounce back. Elite defensively, complete all around. And whenever they're on the ice, you can never count them out until they're down by several goals and it's the third period of an elimination game.
You're not going to get any argument from me, Alec. Again, Ian would give you some of those same points there alongside for Vegas, still being one of those. And I'm glad that you enlightened me and didn't think I was absolutely crazy for both of those picks. I just feel like I want to lock it in now because I was just impressed with what these teams have done at the deadline and throughout the year. So we'll see if that's what comes to pass. And again, to your point there earlier before Ian jumps in, I think that's another one of the reasons why Steve Yzerman didn't make a lot of moves at the deadline, because you look at what Carolina, Florida, and Tampa did, there really is no sense to try to go for Reynolds because you're just giving up first-round picks for nothing.
So, in terms of a Stanley Cup prediction, what I'm about to pick is just, it's what I want to see and what I'm hoping for. It's not based on any historical data or anything like that. From the West, for a Stanley Cup matchup, the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, this is it. This is the year they make it to the finals. This is the year that Connor Hellebuyck, Mark Scheifele, and what have you will finally make it to the Stanley Cup final. That's from the West. And from the East, well, from the East, I would have to say, move over there, I'll take it over this prediction. The Carolina Hurricanes will run roughshod over the East. We have goaltending. We have Sebastian Aho. We said that trade Armigo Rantanen down to Dallas. Yes, it's not exactly, unfortunately, yes, it's not exactly purgatory, but you know what? We still sent that trader away. The Hurricanes are showing no mercy this time. It's going to be 2006 all over again, and the brass bonanza will play throughout the NHL. Look out! The F5 is coming your way. So, yeah, Jets and Hurricanes for the Stanley Cup final.
You know what, Alec, I'll say this for you. I hope that it happens for you on the Hurricane side. And for the Jets, honestly, for Connor Hellebuyck, I hope that it happens for him because I'm sure he's tired about, what happens to him during the Cup playoffs when he just has a little bit more struggles.
That would be my dream if the Hurricanes make it back to the Stanley Cup final. Possibly an opportunity to go to a finals game, who knows? Of course, tickets are going to be expensive, but it's going to be well worth the enjoyment of going back to a playoff game. Could be the first time ever going to such. But if it's a Stanley Cup final, that's a much bigger storyline. The Winnipeg Jets absolutely need a deep playoff run given circumstances. I know the arena isn't the largest in the NHL, but you would hope that Winnipeg would get something out of a playoff run. Outside their long deep run being 2018. A deep run meaning conference finals, Stanley Cup final potentially, off the back of Hellebuyck. How much can he do? And of course, even for him being one of the best goaltenders in the league, I think he's under the most pressure among goaltenders making it to the Stanley Cup playoffs because In the past few seasons, he's altered come playoff time. He has to change that narrative.
I almost went with a rematch of 2006 and put the Edmonton Oilers there, but I mean,
I'll be right back.
at this point, if the Winnipeg Jets don't make it now, they're never going to make it, and then they'll move, and Winnipeg will be sad again.
That would be a nightmare scenario for Winnipeg and the city, because that would have been, if such sort of case would happen, that would be twice that they would lose their hockey team. And we don't want that to happen in any case, not at all. As we go around through the rest, I just want to give a shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Welcome back to the NBA playoffs. They clinched with a win over the Boston Celtics, 118-112. Their recent being Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 34 points in the playoff clinching game. Chet Holmgren with 23 and 15 rebounds over a high-powered Celtics team that just beat the Los Angeles Lakers and snapped their 8-game winning streak this past Saturday. Jason Tatum with 33 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. The do-it-all workhorse for Boston in Boston. Al Horford, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. And boy, these two teams are rolling. They're the class in each of their conferences. In the NHL, we do have some goal-scoring updates. The Utah Hockey Club, pending team name approval, go for what their name would be next. They get a goal from Jack McBain, his 12th of the year. Ian Cole and Josh Stone get the assists. It is 1-0 Utah at Delta Center. And the Seattle Kraken up 1-0 on the Montreal Canadiens with 5:18 to go in the first. And as we spoke of Brandon Montour, what his absence was meant for the Florida Panthers, and then need to fill it up with Seth Jones. Montour scored the first goal for Seattle. Jordan Everly has the assist. The goalies being Joey Decord, who is 5 for 5. Jacob Dobish, 7 of 8. And a graduate of the Ohio State University. The goaltenders for Anaheim and Utah tonight, Ville Husso and Karel Vejmelka. Vejmelka 8 for 8, Husso 16 to 17.
I heard two names as I just came back. One was Jordan Everly, which I'm good to hear back, and then Ville Husso still sounds weird as an Anaheim Duck.
Still does, because it was not too long ago because he signed with Detroit on a 3-year deal. Didn't work out. Now he got traded to Anaheim simply as a cap dump. The return was future consideration. So cash consideration is basically the equivalent of future consideration. You're just freeing up cap space in such a way.
Yeah, I feel like I need to get a future considerations jersey as a Red Wings side of it, because there was a lot of that, I'm sure, during the deadline.
Yeah, basically, there was. And given that third goaltender need to be filled in, Cam Talbot has been rather off as of late, but Alex Lyon, and even though for him being the better goaltender in Detroit as of right now, he can only do so much for the Red Wings if defense is one of the weak links of the team.
I'll say it as simply as I can, Alec, and I know that we all know this. It's 4 forwards for Detroit, and Larkin, DeBrincat, Kane, and Raymond. You got 2 defensemen in the mix of Suter and Edvinsson, and your goaltending is still, below par. That's really all there is right now for Detroit besides their prospects. You could throw in Casper and all, but those are your only reliables, and that is why the Red Wings are where they are. You could talk about Yzerman and some of the stuff in the free agency, deadline, things like that, lack thereof. Prospect pool is good, but guys like Kopp, when he went out, that hurt them a lot. Again, he was one of the only guys that was a plus on the team. Kiefer hasn't done that much. But the prospects are good, but all the placeholders, those are placeholders that I'm talking about. They're still waiting for the kids to come in, but they might only be ready by the time they're 22, 23. That's why the fans are getting impatient. I'm not, but that's the situation that we're in.
Yeah, and I know I get the reactions about patience and impatience, though There's time that's running out for Steve Yzerman on his plan on getting the Red Wings back to the promised land, that being the playoffs.
Yep.
This is 2025 and year 6 of Steve Yzerman's tenure as a GM. And the Red Wings haven't made the playoffs right now, but they've been on the cusp of making it there. But there's fair to wonder, how long is Yzerman's leash?
It's fair to wonder because you said, Alec, year 6. They don't care about the first 3 years when he inherited Holland's mess. I think Yzerman's probably got 2.5 years over under if this continues, if they don't make it.
I would say something like that as well. So Elias Petersson is 9th in franchise history among points of 450. So he's onto the top 10 category. Hasn't been playing like it, but nonetheless, you'll want to see the young forward thrive here. 5-2-2 in the current 10-game point streak against the Flames for Petersson. The Canucks record 6 goals, 7 assists, and 13 points. He loves playing against Calgary.
Do you mind taking the first 10 and letting me close, or do you want to switch?
You know what? I'll let you close out this time around. It's your return, and I'll let you have the final 10.
I'll just take the home side of the Flames just for Cooper because he needs the points, but I feel bad for Ian as well. So I just want to have fun with this one. Darn it.
That's the way it should be. Have fun all throughout. It's a crucial Western Conference wildcard matchup on the line here. Not only for the Canucks and Flames, but also for the Blues and Utah, who by the way, Utah's playing right now. Third period's underway. Alec Nava, John Ott, Ian Genty, here are you at Scotiabank Sourdough on the Twitter Spaces, Twitch, and YouTube live cast of it. Hronek backed up deep by Igor Sherwood. There was a stick in the lane. This bounces up, and the Canucks who scoop it up from their own end, and they carry this one out. Sherwood off the body that was Hadley as Aim is trying to scoop it up. Batted in deep by Sherwood, and we scooped up by Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar flipping this down deep, intended for Sharon Gomez, but this was batted back deep. Here comes Sherwood from the near side, and whoa, stop one. Eddie Bluger tried to take one away for Vancouver, and Calgary's all over this puck. They look to move this one up, and they will, as Sharon Gomez goes to his right. Skating smoothly is Anderson, who fires, takes a bounce off of Marcus Petersson, and a fight from Gretzky stops behind blanket his crease. And it will be the Canucks moving this one up for the middle. Partial break here for Niels Höglander. Good stick there by Kevin Ball. Höglander in time to recover, but Kadri's right there. Wraparound chance. It's loose, and Wolf falls onto it.
And now Ball and Petersson, Anderson, Höglander all tied up. Alec, you mentioned this many times throughout the broadcast, and we needed to. These two teams, they don't like each other. They haven't stopped all of the other extracurricular as well. Kiefer Sherwood, that was in tight from Teddy Bluger. That was a good stop by Wolf on the second effort.
So far, so good for Kiefer Sherwood and Dustin Wolf between these two of them. But you know how these two rivals know each other so well. Niels Höglander relentless going after this puck with aggressive and tight forward checking. But afterwards, it was chaos as Höglander puts his vice back.
So we're going to get a D-zone draw for Calgary. Elias Petersson, number 40, going to try to get this one going here for the Canucks and an attempt to get this one tied at 3. Again, they had a hellacious comeback attempt almost against Montreal just last night. And again, Montreal's been playing very well of late, Alec, as well. So Vancouver, you know what they can do when it gets toward the final minutes. They like to push under Rick Tocchet's squad. And the refs are talking to Dan Vladar about something, but I'm not sure what.
Rasmus Anderson is over at the Calgary bench as he's discussing with Chris Lee, number 28, about something in the equipment manager. It's something to do with Anderson's helmet. That was the thing.
The helmet strap, little eagle eye for Alec Nava. We're still going to be getting set up here for this D-zone draw. Looks like Nazem Kadri and Elias Petersson will do battle.
To the left of Dustin Wolf, nonetheless, as the top line is back out there for Vancouver. Petersson centering Höglander, and who I believe is Jake DeBrusk. Off the face-off win, a blast from Mancini, and wide. It's held inside by DeBrusk. Around this one goes on the backhand keep by Marcus Petersson. Höglander from Elias Petersson. Höglander wanted to go to DeBrusk. Can't do so as every passing lane was closed off. Höglander tries to beat this one, but a good stick in the lane ended that. And now down goes one of the Flames. Jonathan Huberdeau is slowed up. And now the Canucks will see the whistle as Niels Höglander was pursuing the puck. I believe there's a penalty.
Yeah, near the right side boards, the Flames with the extra effort in the mix of Coronado, Huberdeau trying to get something near that red line. Hogelander gets dispossessed, and then toward the right side, a little bit of a trip there, and he's going to be going to the box as Coronado is able to get that second effort and draw it.
Keep this motor afloat as Hogelander was trying to chase after this puck. But the puck was already out of reach by the time he tried to chip it away, and instead clips Coronado's skates. So how much is too much is the question. Second power play of tonight for the Flames. The previous time, it was a goal in which we thought it wasn't. 3-2 Flames, they lead. Alec Nava, Ian Getty, as we're seconds into the Flames power play here. Morgan Frost carries this one inside. From the far side, Kadri sends this backwards over to Uyghur. Now back for Kadri. Precision at the right circle. Match one-on-one as he goes to Huberdeau. From the high left point, Uyghur, Kadri. Kadri waits and it goes right wide. Intended for Huberdeau, that was batted down. Huberdeau tried to set up for Coronado. Now does so. Now it's Uyghur. Latest open up in the right circle. Now it goes down low. This shot fired wide. And this could not be held inside by Huberdeau. And we will have to play continue rolling. Okay then. Thought there was a whistle there, but no. Drop pass. This will go to Frost. Morgan Frost starts to rush. Now for Huberdeau. Huberdeau will drop it. The pass is intercepted by Sherwood, and Sherwood still in pursuit of Uyghur. And Sherwood tried to stick with Uyghur several times. Saucer pass going all the way across to Huberdeau. Wide open! That was Conor with the last shot. That was not by Lankinen. This puck held inside by Rasmus Anderson. It is Huberdeau going to the right circle. Anderson readies up for the one-timer. Instead, this puck goes to the far corner. Tic-tac-toe to Kadri, and then back over to the far half court. This is Morgan Frost going down low for Kadri. Bouncing up and onto the near corner for Huberdeau. Back and forth, Sharon Govich all tied up. And Vancouver will carry this one out to center. Shooting this to leg with 22 on the man advantage. For Calgary. Rasmus Anderson starts up again. Anderson will drop it back. And moving up over is Sharon Govich. Sharon Govich to the right. It is Joel Farabee. Rasmus Anderson going up front. Looks for deflection. Not there. Vancouver blocks it up and on their knees. They look to clear it out, but Coleman's on the key. Moving inside Sharon Govich. This possesses the puck in the last moment. Now he is Overdose. Coleman still pursuing the puck in the far corner. They're wrangling for it at that side. Coleman on the takeaway. Wraparound try for the far half. Forcing to go all the way. And the Canucks skate with this through the benches and shoot this one down. Wolf out of his crease to the near corner for Uyghur. Moved up for Farabee on a chip to keep there by Vancouver. And the Canucks will keep this one inside. DeBrusk, one to center. Here's Drew O'Connor. O'Connor, actually Elias Petersson. Petersson wanted to get this one off. He is tangled up at Gretzky's office. The Flames look to get it out, and there's a bounce that's all the way through and into the Canucks zone. Oscar still in pursuit. He steps up in front of Hughes. Tried to backhand one in front of the net, but there was nobody in front. Lomber after the far half boards, and it'll be held inside by Kadri. Kadri around for the other side. Ball. Kevin Ball going down low for Lomber. Half spin around, and he'll position up at the bottom of the left circle. One timer didn't go all the way through. Here's Anderson. No deflection as this one bounced over to the left point. Ball. Moves out of Anderson again. Makes a slapper. Now he'll wrist it. Made his way to Lankinen. He got a piece of it. Ball. Another bouncer. This one went to Hughes. Has Mancini with him. Hughes waits once, and both teams will decide to change lines. 5 minutes gone here. Coronado tried to steal it, but it's a quick recovery by Vancouver as they have numbers heading into the zone. Moved up front, and there was no opportunity, but they have a smart eye on keeping this one. And then a second time, they do keep it. At the top of the left circle, this shot bounced off of Wolf and it's collected at the near corner. Fired out to center along the penalty box doors. Boeser, and a very late offside here with 14:38.
Man, oh man. Again, the previous ones, you have Kadri there with a shot. Blake Coleman, when he first got it in the right side up, probably should have shot the puck and ended up not with an opportunity there. And then the Flames in their own end now are trying to get this puck out a couple times. I just felt like a 1,000-pound weight, couldn't get it out of the zone. And Dustin Wolf and his team was lucky that there was an offsides.
That's a good breather there for the Flames to have because the Canucks were getting testy with the puck so much that they were in pursuit so many times right on Dustin Wolf. The Flames needed that whistle. Dumped in deep.
That's a snazzy little glove save there from the rookie netminder in the mix of Dustin Wolf. Again, Calgary couldn't keep him on the Wranglers for that much longer. Again, he's showcasing you why. He's going to get the primo amount of starts there for the Flames because they absolutely need it. Dan Vladar has been better of late, but the Flames have had plenty of off time from this Saturday to Wednesday. 3-1-1 in the last 5 with a 178 and 935 and a shutout.
101 in those last 5 starts. He pointed out that stat line. That's a dominant stat line for this young netminder and a key piece to Calgary's future. Of course, he'll be situated as the starting goaltender in their net for many years to come. Here's Mancini, dumped in deep. This will be picked up by Paul, backhands into center. Coleman will wait and then fire to the far corner. Zary, does a little reverse hit. Well, and there's a shot. Arm is up in the air. I think there might be something out of this as Marcus Petersson got something up high to his face.
And I think there's going to be a high sticking call then against the Flames. From the first part before the whistle blew, Alec, Vancouver wasn't even hunting the puck. They thought for sure it was going to be done immediately. And Conor Zary, he got tied up there with Marcus Petersson. He got the butt end of the stick right to the right cheek of Marcus Petersson. He's going to sit for 2 minutes.
Ooh, and that did not look pretty at all.
Nope, and again, you're in the wrong spot, wrong time here. And the Canucks, they get their 4th power play of the night, another chance to tie.
They scored on one, they allowed a shorty. So 1 for 3 with 2 shots. You would imagine that Vancouver peppered Dustin Wolf more. They do so on the first shot after the face-off and 5 seconds in. Wolf covers on the 90.6 mile-an-hour Blazer.
Oh, number 32 looks pretty confident with the glove hand, doesn't he, Alec? That's a good save there, too.
Yes, flashed the letter a couple of times here, twice in a row there as Quinn Hughes teased one up. And no question, but Wolf staying confident in the crease, continuing his good run. 24 points in his last 19 games for Quinn Hughes. And that includes in between, including the time that he's out with injury, as Hughes walks along the point. Petersson takes one up, and Wolf makes the same there. Canucks hold it as Hughes wants to go to Petersson. No, he's going to go to Boeser. Brock Boeser back for Hughes. Hughes waits, now goes to Petersson. Elias Petersson walks around Huberdeau. Huberdeau watching still. Petersson going back for Hughes, and now Petersson one more time for the right circle. Fired and looks in the front, and it's not clearing out afterwards as Wolf is still calm and poised. Elias Petersson walks into it in front, and it's DeBrusk. A mass of humanity is down as Wolf escapes somewhere out of it.
Again, Dustin Wolf is a little bit underneath 6 feet, and you can see him almost get dwarfed on the top of it alongside Jake DeBrusk. They go for a wraparound opportunity, and Huberdeau says, enough of that. They let everybody fall down in front of the crease.
Those bowling pins, they can fall down at any moment when they're struck by the ball. But in this case, it's a puck. But this time around, they were all fighting for it. Here's DeBrusk immediately off the Canucks face-off win. Everyone's getting set up as Hughes. We'll go to the left circle for Petersson. Hughes will trade places with Petersson as he gets set up for the far corner. Immediately is saved by Dustin Wolf as Hughes will get it back. Controlling the place, Petersson. DeBrusk out of his net front position at the bottom of the right circle. He'll look to Petersson again. Hughes back at the point. Petersson back in his position. Petersson will look. Boeser set up at the left circle. Petersson going to Hughes. Hughes once again surveys as he steps up to the top of the left circle. Cross eyes for Petersson. Petersson reply. Boeser fires one. Looking to tie that game up. Nothing would budge. Petersson being hounded by Coleman. The Canucks keep it alive though in 30. Quinn Hughes. Brock Boeser holds it, fires it, and missed it. Boeser on the hold. There was Conor Garland in the left circle. Brock Boeser will let this one go over to Petersson. Break by Garland. Now back for Hughes. Garland again. Conor Garland. For Petersson. There's a fucking bus. Everybody's down. One that was a play. Still is not clear. Hughes on the keep. There was a play that wants to take out Winger. Got it back. DeBrusk fires. Another block there. And finally, it is cleared out. And Conor Zary, he'll not have a breakaway, but he finally gets back onto the ice. Oh, how much for the place counted that time around on this penalty kill? My goodness. Calgary in pursuit. For Huberdeau.
You know what I liked about that sequence, and a bang-up job for you there, Alec. I'm assuming the play-by-play, you were amazing at that. All those block shots, Blake Coleman, Mackenzie Weegar, all tied up in front with Jake DeBrusk. They're pushing and shoving. You got those net battles all over just to make sure that Dustin Wolf can see everything. And then about 2-3 shot blocks in the mix of Blake Coleman, who's still getting the stick taps in amongst his teammates. They tried to clear that puck 2 or 3 other times. They couldn't get out. Everybody was gassed, but eventually the Flames clutched up there to get that one across center ice and get their change. That was a wonderful sequence, and that was really the beauty of hockey, wasn't it? Laying it all out on the line. Good stuff.
Blake Coleman especially, and that Flames penalty kill, showcasing why they're one of the hottest penalty kills as of late. And not to mention Dustin Wolf, 2023 AHL MVP, and very rarely do you see goaltenders getting named MVP in any hockey league, but that was the case for Carey Price in 2015 when he was named NHL MVP, getting awarded the Hart Trophy. This kid's the real deal, but so is the rest of this defense for the Flames. And even though there are not a lot of household names on this Flames roster, you will find guys like Weegar, Coleman, who are defensive specialists and can contribute on the penalty kill. That's one of the more underrated aspects of this Flames team.
I agree with you, Alec, and look at it on the side of it too over the last couple of years with the guys that they've lost in there. You can also throw in like Tanev, Noah Hannafin, Nikita Zadorov. I mean, there's been a lot of moving parts here with this Flames defense, but yet their defense, as you said, it's been remain one of their constant alongside their goaltending to keep them into a playoff spot where they really weren't expected to be.
And that's why the Flames are one of the biggest surprise stories of the NHL, how goaltending and defense have kept them afloat. They're not a team that relies on offense to win games most of the time, but goaltending has been their calling card again and again. This game is no different, even though the stats might not show because of the number of times the Canucks have fired towards the Flames. But nonetheless, goaltending has been a strength, and that last sequence is why. Back off the face-off, a rush for the puck right down the middle. Dustin Wolf out of his reach to Pius, almost ran in some of the trouble. And now this one, not enough for the icing as rushing back towards his puck is Marcus Petersson. Over to holds him up. And so does Kadri. And the Canucks escape with this puck. Courageous play by Wolf to not give up a breakaway as he was rushing out of his crease to deny the Canucks a breakaway chance. Vancouver picks it up, and along the Flames bench, they backhand this one in deep. For the far corner, Wolf playing this for B. Jake B. For Nazem Kadri. Kadri, there was a sticking away from Dakota Joshua, and Vancouver gets this back in deep. Elias Petersson lost the race to Jake Bean, and now Matt Coronado. Coronado moving up through the near side. Coronado from the red line, bouncing it out for the near boards. And here's Mancini, who stepped into it for Elias Petersson, the defenseman. 10:45 to go. Very soon I'm going to turn it over to John Ott. Alec Nava here with John and Ian Ginty. Now body check there from Kevin Ball. There's some bumps. Morgan Frost trying to keep this into the zone. But Kent, as Vancouver gets this one out. Backhanded in deep by Brock Boeser. And Martin Pospisil will start up. So, how about you taking the rest of the way, John?
Kevin Rooney now will throw this one in the corner, and thank you, Alec. We'll try to take this one home here for the Flames. They're going to try to see what they can do. The Canucks, they're desperate to try to get back into WC2. There's a lot on the line tonight. Again, the Flames have had the fresher bodies. The Canucks have not played poor off the back-to-back. Here's a chance for Rooney, and he sails it right past the halfway point.
Well, that took a block right off a stick and went out of play after that shot was made. Kevin Rooney, off the keep here from Calgary, as Calgary's doing everything to stay afloat in this WC2 race. Quinn Hughes will want to clear that one out. But Huberdeau being the main centerpiece with this go-ahead goal that almost wasn't, but it was right inside the camera. That's the go-ahead goal there, and that's the goal that stands here in the midway point of the third.
Absolutely, Alec. It's just as you said, in the mix of it right now between the Flames and the Canucks. The Flames will have 64 games after today. The Canucks will be at 65. St. Louis Blues are inactive. Again, Ian was telling you everything across the board that you're going to want to have if you're a Blues fan. The Canucks get 2 points and nothing else in the mix of, you don't want to have anyone else get points at this point in time of the year. But as Alec and I mentioned, in between Calgary and Vancouver, I know it's a light schedule tonight, but this is the best one because you got two teams in a battle for it. You got two teams probably don't score a ton of goals, but the ones that we have seen, Alec, as you mentioned, have been quite good. And this game, I think, is going to come right down to the wire as it was expected to be.
That's how I see things as well. A tight game going down to the wire, as has been the case here between these battles. I know this is with another league, but already two teams in the NBA have clinched. Cleveland Cavaliers have won 15 straight. They're the first team to clinch a playoff spot. Biggest prize of the year, by the way. But the coaching change with Kenny Atkinson and a team that we expected to make the playoffs back here. The Oklahoma City Thunder just clinched a playoff spot with a win over the Boston Celtics tonight. They're the second team in.
Question for you, gentlemen, quickly. The two favorites, Cleveland and OKC, are they the ones that are going to be playing in the finals?
That's a tough one. I'll give OKC. The East is a big toss-up.
Yes.
Cleveland could be coming out of the Eastern Conference, but as long as the Celtics are standing, I'm not going to count them out just yet.
That's what I'm hoping the Eastern Conference Finals will be, the Cavs and the Celtics. Again, I know it's going to be in the mix of the NHL playoffs as well, Alec, but hopefully we get a chance to join in on that. I'm looking forward to our baseball assignment in about another week and a half, as this one's now flipped up into the air. Nazem Kadri, as we will get a whistle at 9:52. Shot for it is 20-18. Again, you got a couple of goals for Jonathan Huberdeau, power play shorthanded. Nazem Kadri with a dipsy doodle. And then in the mix, as Alec was profiling a little bit earlier, I'll just pull this up again. Pius Suter in the first and Jake DeBrusk his 23rd on the power play. Only one goal is the difference. It's a 4-point swing game between these rivals. And the other thing, too, to keep in mind is if Calgary wins this game and they end up points tied with Vancouver after these 82 games are done, they'd be winning the season series 3-1 and have that tiebreaker. So that's everything that you got to think about. This is the fourth and final meeting. Nazem Kadri. Now this one off the kick plate. He gets all tied up with Teddy Bluger. 9:25 left to go in the third. John under with you alongside Alec Nava and Genji. Destined to take you all the way home here and then give you this assignment. I'll be back and join in Calgary on Friday against the Avs as Teddy Bluger and Blake Coleman exchange words.
Yes, rivalries speak hard to how it can go, but this rivalry intensifying with the standings, the positioning for a playoff spot. WC2, of course, you know how they would play up against one another, and they're matching each other's physical style. And Jonathan Huberdeau knows this too well. Blake Coleman knows this too well.
It's been a really fun game, Alec. I'm glad you've been able to join me for this one. Still 3-2. Connor Zeri offsides by a mile there with Blake Coleman. As I've not been able to really kind of get the motor revved here for this back half of the third period with all these stoppages, but 9:14 left.
Of course, I know Sherwood was a little excited to join along on the rush, but don't get too excited.
Connor Zeri will win this one right to the neutral zone. And Blake Coleman says it's all right as Kevin Ball pins it across. Farabee now will give chase. Zeri now looking toward the left side red line as Farabee gets knocked down on his heavily padded wallet. This is picked up here for Ball, and he'll chip this one down the ice. Down to Filip Hronek, former Red Wing. Again, he's a line mate alongside Quinn Hughes a couple of years ago. Filip Hronek had about 1 million assists and no goals. This is dropped along for Elias Petersson. Now Nils Höglander will give chase. He'll win the race toward the right side red line. In the road whites in the mix of the blue pants and the green stripe. Calgary at home in the sea of red at the Saddle Dome. It's loose. Höglander shoots. Good glove save there. Right into the stomach and then send it back over for Wolf.
Perfect place, perfect timing for Höglander to get the shot away. I know Wolf has been outstanding in this game. Höglander timed this one perfectly. You got to aim this one somewhere. Aim this at a spot in the crease where the part of the crease is left open. Höglander fired this one directly onto the chest of Wolf. I know Wolf has been a workhorse, but I don't know if the aiming of the shot was perfect.
Yeah, the length of it, the height of it, Alec. You just couldn't get it to the right side of the crossbar. That was the only problem there for Höglander. He was under duress. Turnaround chance. Wolf says no. Rebound, and he'll hold right at the line. And we will get some more pushing and shoving with this. Dakota Joshua, Handley, Wolf just says, I'm getting the heck out of the way. Now Marty Pospisil trying to join in on the fun. And the refs look like they're going to be able to break this one up successfully.
The refs just can't catch a break from these scuffles, can't they? We've seen too much of this to count, but that is the perks of a rivalry game here. And if you're a fan watching this game, they are going to have these scuffles most of the time. Net front scrambles, of course, don't get old when you're battling for this loose puck. Dakota Joshua and Conor Garland on the initial chances. Joshua was shoving that one to Flames, and then Teddy Bluger wanted to clean that one up. Joshua then was caught in turn in the middle of that scuffle.
That second shot, I'm not sure if that was Pius, Suter or not after Garland and Joshua. He was trying to be in a bid for a second. Wolf stopped 23 of 24 on December 31st as they profiled in their last matchup. And right now, Wolf has given up 2, but that's usually the most that he usually gives up. As Morgan Frost trying to win this D-zone, draw Joel Hanley, send this back around from Mackenzie Weegar. Good pass right up the gut, Morgan Frost. He will go on his backhand now and send this in off the kick plate now for Michael Backlund, captaincy for the Flames. Sharon Govich, this one gets tied up there. Now Morgan Frost. Jake Bean can't hold the line. And this will go back now for the defensive pairing of Ryan Huska's squad and sent back in. Shot board almost dead even, 21-20 for Vancouver, but Calgary has got the go-ahead goal. This one latest on the power play for Jonathan Huberdeau. As this one will be sent in around the embankment, Dustin Wolf will stop it. This will be Pahal. Flip this one down the ice, and this should be an easy hybrid ice called against the Flames.
Easiest days we see the standings here. Utah's playing right now, and they have a wild card chip spot on the line as well. So they're not the only ones in this battle. They're up 1-0 still. No scoring changes throughout. The only goal was Jack McBain. Ian Cole, Josh Doan assisted on it. They're up 1-0 on Anaheim, who's also fighting for an outside chance at WC2. Right. It's got a long shot for Anaheim, though.
Yeah, you're right. Anaheim would have to get on a run, but Utah is essentially in the same spot that St. Louis is. So, again, you want one team to get points and not the other. Again, Ian's exactly right about that. As this one slipped in toward the right side boards away from Sharon Govich. It was kept in, apparently. And now Blake Coleman ends up getting the steal. Just lofted in the corner for Kevin Rooney. He's off to the races, gets cut off right upside the gut. Good work there. Conor Garland pushed this one ahead for Brock Boeser. Brock Boeser will shovel it softly into the corner now as Filipino will give chase. Not used to seeing Filipino on the top line alongside Vancouver. Thought he would still be a member of the Rangers, but that's all for naught. That's changed completely. Mancini. Now we'll take this one left to right. There's a slow up there. Hoglander, good pass. Rister, that was looking for a cutting Elias Petersson. It didn't find him. He gets this one near the right side boards. Hammers, big rebound, scores! It's Petersson! We're tied at 3!
The moment that Petersson needed to step up, he did. A wide open rebound to be had, and he made no mistake about it, firing it top shelf. And Dustin Wolf was down, did not see that one coming. So Petersson retrieves the puck at the near corner, sends this back over towards the point for an initial one-time blast. Wolf makes the initial save, but the reaction time for Petersson was so quick for Wolf to get back up. And by the time Wolf got over to the left side, he barely had enough time to get this puck. Petersson just beat him out by a smidge.
Man, oh man, you said that the reaction of lightning there for Elias Petersson. We know we talked about in the Four Nations and what didn't work out for Team Sweden. Didn't have any points. They really need Elias Petersson to get going here, considering after the JT Miller trade. This is supposed to be his team. And this is essentially, I wouldn't even say Stanley Cup playoff type game, but this has got to be that same type of instrument between these two. That's a huge goal for Petersson. 6:20 left to go in the third. Vancouver now has the edge of the shot board, 3-3. And all that's remained to be seen is who's going to get the next one here. But 6 goals is probably way more than Alec and I were expecting between these two. Coronado will send this one into the corner. Now Quinn Hughes. He will pick this one back up. Number 43 got it in full flight. Member of U of M send this one around the end boards. Reverse hit. And Zeri trying to find it now in the mix of a couple of Kiefer Sherwood. Rasmus Anderson off the tie-up. It's Zeri. No, he's being held in behind the net of Dustin Wolf. 5:40 left to go in the third. Petersson, his 14th at the 13-16 markers, unassisted. Not sure why. I didn't think that was touched by anyone else. Hronek, they can't hold it in. Hughes got a back check here. And that was a whole bunch of effort there for Calgary, but they'll just take a change as Vancouver looks to elongate their breakout. Here's an opportunity here for Filip Hronek. He's got that full beard on. Send this one ahead and up the gut. It's stolen by Morgan Frost, and Frost almost gives it right back up. Morgan will pick it back up in his own end, and he'll safely send this one back here for Kevin Ball. Touch pass right up across the flaming sea. Sharangovich collects across the left wing line, and this one intercepted. Mancini trying to hold on to it. EP, I'm trying to pick this one up now. Sharangovich lost his stick. It's a 2-on-2. Jake DeBrusk, he's got a goal in this game off the deflection. Here's a chance. High slot. Rebound. Wolf. It's loose. He's down. And he's got it.
And more pushing and shoving after the whistle. No, we're not done with them with extracurriculars. As this saga continues, Mancini from the trailer. Wolf had trouble locating the rebound as it fell onto his pads. He kicked out the initial chance, but Vancouver was mad going after this puck. Wolf kept his composure, kept the puck with him, and did not allow anything else. Not before any shoving matches, however. Boy, this rivalry never ceases to entertain us.
Yeah, this game has been quite good, probably even more so than I was expecting. And I thought maybe a 3-1 empty netter at most. We got a 3-3. Dustin Wolf, now he's starting to get really busy, 24 of 27. Kevin Lincoln in 17 of 20. This reminds me a little bit of yesterday. I know Montreal was able to get that win in the end, but it was a third period push by the Canucks that made the Canadians feel a little bit uncomfortable. And dare I say it, Alec, right now, Calgary has got to feel a little bit of the butterflies at the moment.
That's what I feel like as well. Calgary's slowing down a bit in terms of goal scoring, but they are feeling the brunt of the pressure from the Canucks, showing what they can do when they play at their peak, showing what they can do when they play themselves from last season, showing what they can do when they play composed hockey in the third period and not getting the mental mistakes, the best of them all throughout. Regain your composure, and this is what Rick Tocchett's team talked about, I believe, in the second intermission. You regain composure and keep your balance right in front of you. Don't let mistakes hamper you.
Nope, and I think you're right on the side of it for Vancouver, especially. We know we talked about the Flames in that last sequence before he took over there in the top half of the third period with all those shot blocks. 23-11 are the shot blocks in favor of Vancouver. Again, these teams have had a ton of chances on the power play in the mix of 4 opportunities for Calgary, 3 for Vancouver. Shot board 28-20, hit board 26-15 for the Flames. Faceoffs 30-24 for Calgary as well. But hold all tickets as we got about 4:30 left to go here in this third. Morgan Frost and Rooney get all tied up. Dakota Joshua sprawl right across the logo. Pius Suter able to send this one back. This is gloved out of midair. Mackenzie Weegar, as this is just a battle into the neutral zone, and then finally sent in. The shot attempts this period are 16-1. Kadri, this one off the inboards, again 16-1 for Vancouver. So Calgary just trying to hold on for dear life. I didn't realize it was that lopsided, as this one will be picked up the other way for Rasmus Andersson. So I've never seen it turn that much one way, but that is where we are, as we're in the midst of a 3-3 game. And as Ian mentioned, you don't want to have either one of these other teams pick up some points as we get tied up a little bit. And Coronado goes and picks up his stick. It's going to be an extra man here. Off the drop, O'Connor will give chase. And now Nazem Kadri tried to lift this one out of his own end. Calgary can't get it out. A rolling puck will be just one-handed for ball. Finally lifted outside the zone, but guess what? Calgary ices it. But that shot board, man, oh man, Alec, as I look at that again, Vancouver seems like maybe they're going to be the one that scores next.
It appears that way. But either way, if this is overtime or a shootout, then that's bad news for the teams that are right behind these two in terms of the standings and playoff positioning, because it's going to be even more harder for these two to gain ground, given that these two would get at least 1 point each, unless there's something to see before the period ends.
Pius, Suter, and Morgan Frost. Suter wins the draw on the offensive end. Spanier Quinn Hughes. He doesn't really look that injured from what I've seen today. As it's Frost. Now try to flip this one out too far for Sharangovich. Filip Hronek stops it at center ice. This will be in off Dustin Wolf. Yes, that will count as a shot. Shot board is 30-20. As this will be picked up here from Morgan Frost. Back pass. And we'll see if Ryan Huska's squad can get organized, because they are getting haymakered here in this third period, but they're getting up before that 10 count, but they're feeling some bruises. Now Vancouver trying to take this one left to right for the rest of what's left of the third. 2:40 left to go. John Hunter with you alongside Alec Nava and Genji. Here's a seam pass. Elias Petersson, who's got the tying goal. This one off of Wolf's stick. Conor Garland shovels it into the corner. Here's Mancini. Now for Garland. Garland trying to pin himself against the wall to kill some more time and wait for some reinforcements as this gets knocked away from Zary. Now to the right side, Kiefer Sherwood is no stranger to finish off his hits. Now Mackenzie Weegar. One touch it to Zary. 2:05 left to go in this third. It's Coleman now. Coleman stick lifted from behind by Hedel and then hounded beautifully, but Coleman still trying to one-hand tuck this thing. Farabee late for ball. He fans on the slap shot, broke his stick. And now Zary has to shovel this one into the corner. Should be enough time for ball to get a stick. Coleman still behind the own net of Kevin Lankinen. Here enters Sharangovich. Sharangovich is pinned. 1:40 left to go in this tie game. It's 3-all. Elias Petersson has the latest, and Rasmus Andersson touches on the hybrid ice.
Now that Calgary's got this icing, you always fair to wonder who is going to score here among each one of these players, unless if Vancouver goes the distance here from their zone. Or who do you get to go to for this next goal if you're Calgary? If you want to go to Huberdeau, Kadri, maybe you want to trust Weegar for one in the instance in which he scores. He's got 7 goals, but he can fire one as well for as much as he wants to set up apples for each one of his teammates. Probably get a glimpse of Matt Coronado, Igor Sharangovich, maybe even Conor Zary in that regard. These players, they can list out and getting a go-ahead goal for Calgary if they want to win this.
Yeah, you're right, Alec. You pretty much threw all the names. Again, it can't just be on Nazem Kadri and Jonathan Huberdeau, but they've been the leaders now as it's consecutive icings for Vancouver. So it's important at this moment in time for Rick Tocchet's squad to win a D-zone draw, because if this continues, they're going to be gassed.
Play with fire, you're likely going to get burned. That's what Tampa figured out last night when they iced the puck and Carolina immediately scored. You don't want to have that happen.
Nazem Kadri, big draw. Joel Hanley now will get it toward the right side boards. Huberdeau sends this around for number 91. Kadri, he's trying to go for the backhand behind the net and hit the post. That would have been absolutely unreal. They'll send this one down. It's not ice, but he was looking for the highlight. He already has one. And now Weegar will slow this one down. Back in behind the net. He was looking for Hanley. No, I'm taking himself. He'll turn on the burners now. What's left for Weegar? This is a rolling vulcanized rubber, not kept in. It's ball. Now Weegar gain the red line and send it back in. 50 seconds left to go in the third. It's a tie game, 3-all. Vancouver desperate to take 2 points away from Calgary. Calgary wants to do the same. Sharangovich Rister. This will be a 5-hole save for Lankinen, but I want to see that replay for Kadri.
How close was he to scoring another beatable goal in this game? He took this one, wanted to elevate this one to backhand it towards the far side of the net. He tried to do that to the far side, but unfortunately hits Lankinen's body. Sharangovich comes back the other way after a battle in the neutral zone, and he just finds the 5-hole of Kevin Lankinen. How close was that for Kadri? So close.
It almost seems like he wanted to do the Michigan on that one, and that was close, as it just caught the body, as you said. He was going for the top right post. He was about a half inch away from making this a 4-3 win. This is kept in now. Here's an opportunity off the top. Sharangovich. This will be rolling down, closed down by Rasmus Andersson. He'll gain the red line. 25 seconds left to go. Kevin Lincoln will back up. It's stolen by the Flames. Sharangovich, right side red line, turn around. This is off the side of the net. Morgan Frost recollects. 15 seconds. Crisscross. Rasmus Anderson. He's in very deep. Centered out in front of the net. And this one knocked away. Flames will get puck possession. Kevin Ball. Looks like we're going to go to OT. Tied at 3. And we'll see who's going to take it. Both teams pick up a point.
So now we have a scenario which Utah, St. Louis, and Anaheim don't want in their playoff ambitions. Overtime in this game, so both teams get at least 1 point. The Pius has been so tight. The back and forth tight checking, and this is the end result of a game that's been so close, we can't even call this from the naked eye. 5 minutes of extra hockey. Buckle up. Let's get ready.
You kind of wonder, the third period was heavily dominated by Vancouver as far as their shots. And then Nazem Kadri might have the most dangerous one. As we're looking at the October 9th game in which we covered, that Conor Zary special on the 3-on-3. If they can get those type of hands back, that's why I say number 47 could be a future 30-goal scorer.
I like that take there for Calgary. Can bode well down the line for their aspirations of developing young talent. In terms of overtime goal scorers, if we're going to have to pick 2 guys that can win it here for each team, for Calgary, I'm going to go with Matt Coronado, and Vancouver, I'll be riding with Brock Boeser.
I'm going to go Connor Garland for Vancouver, and I got to go Nazem.
Oh, the highlight reel, man. Of course, not bad selection for Calgary either. Connor Garland, also like that one.
I try not to take too much of the easy button, but Nazem Kadri's been all over this too much, and Jonathan Huberdeau's already got a couple, so I don't think he's going to find the score sheet again, but who knows? Calgary would like to see him get a hat trick. Again, we did not select Quinn Hughes. He's still available, and he might be one of those guys we're also thinking about as we're still waiting for this puck to drop. But with this 3-on-3 time and space, I kind of wonder if Calgary will be happy with that because they just got pushed around in that third period.
Yeah, that's the best thing to happen for Calgary because they were bullied in that third period because of the dominance that Vancouver had at their offensive end. More than quadrupling the shots on goal in that third period. It wasn't even close. Calgary was outright dominating that third period. And the fact that this went to overtime should be a sigh of relief for Dustin Wolf and company.
Yeah, Dustin Wolf was pretty spectacular in that third period, even with all of the shot blocks. And Kevin Lincoln, and that's a huge set of stones, Doc. We talk about it again. You got to get this start off the back-to-back. I know most people would say that's no big deal. It doesn't happen very often, but he's really the guy that he's got to be if Vancouver's going to make the postseason. It's got to be Lincoln.
Has to be. Yeah, Vancouver 5-10 in overtime. Calgary 3-9 in overtime this year.
Nazem Kadri wins it back from Elias Petersson. What are we going to have here? Are we going to need this whole OT? Are we going to need a shootout? It's a 3-3 game. Again, Calgary hasn't played since the Saturday side into Wednesday. You got to think they got the fresher legs. Vancouver, excellent work for them just to pick up the point even off the back-to-back. Nazem Kadri, he's getting hounded by Petersson. He won't just give up there. And now Mackenzie Weegar try to get this one started from left to right. Weegar now finds the entry off this 3-on-3. Coughs it right up here to Hughes. And it's a 2-on-1 immediately. DeBrusk with the puck sends it across. Wrister stopped by Wolf as this one's picked up now for Vancouver. Here is Hughes. And off the sauce, Petersson now will go ahead and play back. Play for the captaincy in Quinn. Quinn Hughes now number 43 slowly enters the right side line. Hedel, full speed, does not get to him. Huberdeau try to get that steal. Back in behind his own end. Nazem Kadri's been out there for a long time. Shot board is 30-23. Next goal is going to win this one, whether it's now or the shootout. It's picked up here for Rasmus Anderson. Anderson walks in toward the right side wing, one-handed, loops around, left for Frost, and this one's picked off right in the middle of the circles before he can get the shot off. Quinn Hughes will spin in his own end. 3:30 left to go in OT, should we need it. As Hughes has been about 27 minutes of ice time right now. Connor Garland, he's out there number 8 with that jersey tuck. Connor Garland sends this one back to D. Picked up near. Boeser shoots. He missed it all. As this one catch the glass, this will stay in play, but a rolling puck will go out of his zone. 3:05 left to go in this OT. Garland now. He's going to race right up across center ice and then pull back near the right side dot. High slot. It's Garland. Now Hronek. He'll like to go back. Vancouver keeping the possession. That's going to cause the Calgary fans to boo, but it's pretty much half and half from what I'm seeing inside the building. Hronek, one more time. Now he'll circle back across the Flaming Sea. 2:40 left to go in this OT should we need it all. EP40 back on the ice. It'll be Sharangovich with a little bit of a wash. He was the one that got it to OT. Hughes now in the high slot. He'll spin back. Vancouver not electing to shoot right now, not giving me much to talk about. Here is Hughes. Now to the right side. He tried to go for the top right post, and this one is out of play.
Calgary was something to end this, but Morgan Ross gets pickpocketed on the puck retrieved by Quinn Hughes. Hughes wanted to end it himself on a 2-on-1 chance, but it was Elias Petersson. But a quick defensive recovery by Nazem Kadri as Petersson gets turned away. Hughes activates pass. Conor is there for a quick shot from the right circle on his offside, and Dustin Wolf beats him in kind. So still no winner just yet, but Rick Tocchet wants to go for the jugular and use his timeout.
That pretty much only means one thing to me, Alec. You're putting Quinn Hughes and Elias Petersson back out on the ice.
That may be the strategy. You want to get your best guys onto the ice, well rested, and get enough breathing time for all of them. See, Ryan Huskins discussing with Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri. I believe he's going to counter with his best guys as well. Best players against best players. The strategy makes a lot of sense for Ryan Huskins in the counter.
So Quinn Hughes in his first game back, Alec, I would say even he's had a better than a B+ game. I would even give him an A-.
Yeah, an A- game, that could be agreeable upon as he has been his same old usual self, sticking away opponents and being the two-way force that he has been. Offensively, he's there. Defensively, also there. He's on the bench to begin this next sequence, but so it's not Quinn Hughes onto the ice. So I believe it's someone else. They're putting Petersson out there, so it's also DeBrusk there. Hronek also out there.
A little bit of a surprise, but again, the first game back, again, I guess I should have not spoken that into existence. EP40 now trying to get the draw off the tie of Mackenzie Weegar. We'll get it. Now Weegar trying to get Hronek off the back skate. He's got Kadri with him. Here's a shot, and he missed it all. They couldn't even find Nazem Kadri there. And now there's a dangerous chance the other way. Petersson and Hronek missed it. Rebound opportunity. Wolf was down doing the full splits, but I don't think the puck got there. And now Weegar all tied up. It's DeBrusk that ends up finding out of all of that. And Quinn Hughes is back out on the ice, and we can take a breath. I'm not sure what just happened there on the side for Dustin Wolf, but that's some reflexes. As Elias Petersson now has got it near the right side dot. We'll send this one across the embankment and off the boards. And now a lot of puck possession here for Vancouver in this OT. 1:30 left to go, and it should we need it. Hughes now has it. He'll sauce it back directly here for Pius Suter, who'll open the scoring. It is Hughes. Hughes now. High slot. He thought about it, and he'll just skate backwards here. So Vancouver now. Hughes has the edge. He's got Suter with them. This one deflected a couple times by Weegar. Good play, but it's still very busy. And now back check for Jonathan Huberdeau. That was really needed. Huberdeau's outstretched pass. And this was dog-tired there for Nazem Kadri. This could be a bad line change. Hughes now off the spin and turn. Calgary just trying to recover. Conor Garland. 45 seconds left in the OT. Garland now will pull back. A lot of this here for Vancouver, more than we usually see from any other team. Garland, now Hughes. It's Boeser now. Send this one back for Quinn. Quinn, stutter step off the stick lift, gets it back. Boeser holds the line. Boeser now right side dot. Boeser wrister. This one off the top of the Nash, I believe, off the glass. It was still in play. Sent back around for Hronek. Down to 15 seconds. Still looking dangerous enough for Vancouver to win it. Here's a chance. This one will be saved and go all the way back down the ice. Conor Garland's got to hurry if he wants to get something off here. Garland. Here's a chance toward the right side backhand. What a save by Wolf. Down to the final second. Wolf saves that too. We go to a shootout.
This is one of the best overtime sequences for Dustin Wolf that we see in a while. Calgary has been stuck on defense mode for most of this overtime as Vancouver continued their onslaught from the third period. A 2-on-1 back the other way from Mackenzie Weegar. He wanted to fire the game winner home, but there was a good save by Kevin Lankinen. Then a cross-ice pass from Elias Petersson got his own rebound after the miss, and Wolf with his outstretched skate to shut that one down. Another chance that went off the inside the post. Almost was a game winner for Vancouver. And then one last time, Wolf for good measure makes one last glorious save on Garland. And then Vancouver fires a shot well after the clock expired. We go to a shootout. This has been a full-on entertainer.
Alec,
one of these teams just win.
Alec, you take the shootout.
All right. Here we go. Something to even this all out, I suppose. It's both goaltenders, Wolf and Vladar, meet with one another. Wolf is going to get the nod for Ryan Huska's squad. See how Rick Tocchet counters up on this shootout. Kevin Lankin is ready. Dustin Wolf is ready. So who stands tall between these two number 32s?
That's the question, because again, as good as Dustin Wolf is, how much shootout experience does he have? Kevin Lankin has been around this game for quite a while, so that's just one thing to keep in mind for me.
He's an established veteran himself, going back to Chicago and Nashville and in Vancouver. The Calgary will go first in this shootout. They're up first, and it's round one. Out there onto the ice right now is Morgan Frost, one of the acquisitions that Calgary acquired from Philadelphia in the Joel Farabee and Andrei Kuzmenko trade. Frost onto the right circle, now onto the legal slot. Frost up and over and stayed out thanks to Kevin Lankinen.
Good positional goaltending there for Kevin Lankinen as that was near the right dot. Frost on the forehand, works his way backhand, tries to lift, and Lankinen says no, stands tall there.
Wanted to double move, but Lankinen was not falling for it. Elias Petersson against Dustin Wolf. How does he fare against EB40? Score! Didn't flinch.
That's a little nasty, a little no-look 5-hole there for EP40. That is a veteran move, and I'm pretty sure Dustin Wolf could have been tracking that puck all day as it went to the 5-hole.
That's one that he wanted to have back. He did have that 5-hole covered up. Now Ryan Huska is going with Rasmus Anderson, a defenseman. Rarely do defensemen go early here in the shootout, but here's the case. Anderson stutters that. Anderson shut down by Lankinen.
It's not looking good here for the Flames on that side, Alec, I have to say it. I think Nazem Kadri's probably go next, but Kevin Lankinen did not buy anything Rasmus Anderson was selling. I don't think he sold well.
Take DeBrusk towards here, it's over. If Dustin Wolf shuts it down, it goes to a third round. DeBrusk, Boeser, DeBrusk, firing, missed it. Might have got a piece of Wolf's stick.
I think you're right. Piece of that with the stick there. DeBrusk, knew what he was going for, top right corner. It's a must score now for the Flames. Again, that's what happens when you like to go here early, and we'll see what happens. They really want to get this second point. This would be huge for the Canucks. It's Huberdeau.
Huberdeau goes. Huberdeau to the spot. He scores!
5-hole, and that one gets it done. That was a little slow pitch softball there for Jonathan Huberdeau, but he'll take it.
5-hole all the way, exactly the way that Elias Petersson scored his shootout goal. Now round number 3 is Suter. Must score to win this for Vancouver. If no goal, it goes to a fourth round. Suter, through the right circle, now down the middle. Suter stutters, and Wolf keeps this alive.
That's a good stop there for Wolf near the right post. He stays tall, keeps the stick there. Suter, he was trying to get a little bit of a head fake, just couldn't make it happen there. He kind of ran out of room, too.
Ran out of room to fire this. If only he elevated this one, you would think. Now Calgary, on round number 4, they go Igor Sharangovich to the middle, backtracks, now moves up front, couldn't elevate. Lankinen shuts it down.
Yeah, Lankinen, excellent work there near the right side of that red line. Again, as you mentioned beautifully, goes for the backhand, tries to go for the elevation. Lankinen completely cuts him off. as he runs out of space. Good work there for Kevin.
Conor Garland can end it. And now he starts up from center ice. Touching this puck. Moving up for the far side. Now coming to the middle. Garland shoots and scores! It's over! Vancouver wins in a shootout.
Well, I took Conor Garland. I guess I got to take him in the shootout more than the OT winner. That one is going to be big for Vancouver because, again, that puts them into a playoff spot. The Calgary Flames do get a point with a game in hand, so it's not the worst case scenario. But I think you look back at it, Alec, and you say that third period, I think Calgary, and I know this goes without saying, they just got pushed around a little bit too much, especially for a team that was off a back-to-back and should be without some energy. And this is even in the split of the series. That's going to make things interesting in the tiebreaker as well. I know there's a lot left to do, but this was probably the most important game of the season for the Vancouver Canucks, and Conor Garland plays the hero.
Yes, indeed. Conor Garland, the hero in the shootout. And he looked at shootout wrister right down for the middle after cutting to the inside from the outside left. He gets the Canucks to know we're still in this alive and well. There's a lot of hockey to be played for, and there's a playoff spot to the line. A lot of season to be had, and the winner to be scored right there at the right place and right time. Vancouver showing why they were a playoff team last year. This third period showed exactly that.
Well, this was one heck of a game to jump back into. It's been a while for me. I know, Alec, you've been able to get your feet wet. Thank you for joining me for this one. This was a much better game than I even could have expected here, as Vancouver takes the winner in the shootout 4-3. The Flames do pick up a point. Again, that's going to make things interesting when they play on Friday against the Colorado Avalanche. Things do not get much easier. And on the other side, I know Ian profiled this as well, but I just want to close this out as far as the broadcast. Vancouver has an opportunity to do some damage. They got Chicago and Utah at home in the next couple of days in the mix of the weekend side before they play against Winnipeg to close out their homestand. So if Vancouver can get things going into this weekend at Rogers, they can do themselves justice here and take some points against teams that are directly behind them.
That's how the feeling is going to be for Vancouver. They're in a good position for them to go onto the schedule in the future, right down for the road. There are key opponents to be had. You mentioned Chicago, but also on the near future for them down for the line. Given their schedule, there are some key opponents that they can take down right down for the line. Chicago, Utah, those two, you will believe that they will get wins over. Winnipeg's going to be their true test next Tuesday because that's a clear-cut playoff team. We know there's a foregone conclusion that the Jets would make the playoffs, given that they're tops in the Central Division.
Right.
How will the Canucks do at Rogers against Winnipeg? Only time's going to tell here.
We will find that out. I know, Alec, I'll probably get a chance to maybe work with you hopefully before birthday side turnover for me, and then our opening day game in between the Dodgers and the Tigers. It's going to be a little bit weird seeing Jack Flaherty accept his award and then jump back over with the Tigers. But that's going to be what happens. Thank you for joining me again. This one was a lot of fun, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, John. Nice to have you back here.
I appreciate that as always. We'll talk soon.
See you.
So there you have it. The Canucks take this one in overtime. It is a shootout winner for Conor Garland as they get a 4-3 victory. There is a lot to be done still as far as this season. I will see you on Friday when the Avalanche and the Flames do battle. It's going to be very important for Calgary to go ahead and get back 2 whole points. It's not going to be easy to do against a team that had won 7 of the last 8, but I will see you on Friday. Peace.